Hello, folks. It's Tuesday, and it's 2 weeks since our last show, meaning it's time for us to hang out again. We have a gloomy, almost rainy July 22nd, 2025, here in Germany. Hope weather is better where you are, wherever you are. Unless you like gloomy weather, then I wish you a lot of German weather. As usual, my name is Todor Vladov, and I'm back with the 57th episode of Keeping It Realistic, a show that, as you know, is done in collaboration with Chaos and very much dedicated to and revolving around the Chaos Campus community. Welcome, my friends. It's awesome to have you here, and I hope you're having a great day so far. In the comments, I already see you being active. I see Arfan, I see Amit, Vieco. So great to have you here, guys. How are you? You're having a good day. Today is going to be a long day for many of us, especially those who are part of the school community as well, because our friend Danushka will be presenting afterwards. So, starting from now, we'll have probably a 2.5 hour show with our guests for the day, and then we'll move over to the school community to see Danushka's presentation. So, we'll be spending a lot of time watching or talking and communicating, which I think is really, really cool. Lowell is also here. Awesome, folks. Now, today, I once again won't be alone because having a co-reviewer simply is absolutely awesome. Last time, we had Brazilian artist Estela Andrade with me. She did absolutely great. You must imagine it was her first public appearance of this type, and she absolutely killed it. For 2.5 hours, she was here alongside with me, discussing topics, reviewing works, answering tons of questions. She did absolutely amazing. And also it was such a pleasant atmosphere hanging around with her. I loved it. And now my initial plan was to move to a different part of the world where to pick my next co-reviewer from and to invite the guest that we have with me today further down the line. However, his he was being so awesomely active during the previous episode of the show, and afterwards he also made such a wonderful post in the community, in the group, that this made me absolutely reconsider my decision and invite him right away. So, long story short, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome with me straight from Brazil the other half of Bonsa Studio, Pedro Borges. Hello, Pedro. Let me show you. Okay, there
Hello,
he is.
guys.
Hello, Pedro.
Hello, Tel. It's
Hi.
a pleasure
Nice
to
to
be
have you here.
here.
That's
Yeah,
awesome to have you here. Now, Pedro, first,
yeah,
I told you about the German weather, the gloomy and so on. How's the weather on your side?
yeah. It's kind of hot because winter and summer here is like the same thing, and but yeah, it's a cool atmosphere. It's a cool. Uh,
So it's winter in Brazil, you said, and it's
yeah,
hot,
it's
right?
winter. Yeah, it's winter,
This
but
is the
it's like
winter I love.
a desert climate. On the day it's so hot, and during the night it's a little cold, but I like it. Yeah.
Nice. So we have many people being here for our show and for our talk today. The ones that you've already heard. I also see Anna here, Brahia, Ulfat, Abdi is here, Morham. This is so great. We have an
Amazing.
awesome audience here and friendly, awesome, very skilled artists, and they want to see and hear more from you because through Estella, obviously, we learned a bit about your studio, a bit about parts of your career, but on the other side, the fact that two artists work or live together doesn't mean that they have the same story to tell. So
Yeah.
please tell us more about your creative journey, where it started, and how come that you are now part of this industry and this 3D field.
Okay. Well, I grew up in a big city, you know, and since I was little, I was highly influenced by my mom and my grandma, especially um, for the arts. They are terrific artists, and they do like oil painting stuff in acrylic and drawings. And since I was little, this was my first love, the drawings. I used to pick like tiny drawings and do like big cartoons of the of the drawings. And yeah, I love art in all scenarios possibles, you know. And yeah, we used to have an old computer back then. So my
Who didn't?
second love, yeah, my second love was gaming. You know, I used to play like DOS games, like Prince of Persia and Home Alone, Aladdin, games like this. And while I still does love gaming, I love the aesthetic, the style, the game art, and so on. And I used to hang out with my cousin a lot back then, and we used to play together. We used to play guitar and drawings and stuff. And at some point, he started creating games, creating assets and modeling. And I was like, "What is this?" You know, I had 13 years old back then when I saw this for the first time, and I, I I had to try it. You know, I had to I needed that. I needed to a computer to create. So my parents, who always supported me, I mean, they are amazing. You know, this is so important because yeah, I'm into art, and they gave me the best computer they could have give me at the time. Um, and yeah, let me check if I forget something. Um, yeah, they got me a computer, and I started learning by myself. I mean, I my cousin was the first one I knew that do 3D back then, but I started searching in the web for another sites and forums and tutorials and stuff like this, and I
Sorry
managed to
for
find.
interrupting you. How old are you by this point? Like,
Oh yeah, I'm
when,
34. Yeah, I'm
no, I
34.
mean back then when you had the PC, when you started your first
Okay,
adventures.
I had 13, 14 years old. Yeah,
Wow,
when I
wow,
started.
that's cool.
So yeah, so I managed to find some forum called 3D One, which they have tutorials and people discussing it, techniques, yeah, it was the first time I heard about V-Ray. And I don't know if my vision is correct, but V-Ray is highly entangled with ArcGIS. So I mean, I loved architecture since I was little too. When I play RPG with my friends, I used to draw the cities and house stone facades and stuff like this. So I had this love about architecture, but not in the way I would like. Oh, I want to do architecture or something like this. It came later, you know, and yeah, I managed to discover great artists in this time, like Marek Denko or Alex Roman, and I was like, whoa, you can reach that kind of quality, you know. And
Is
I
there any
started,
artist who doesn't know this animation by Alex Roman?
yeah,
Like, I mean, it's just a milestone, so to
yeah,
speak.
yeah, it
But
is,
of course, very, very inspiring. Like if you did it exactly, I have the exact same tools as I saw it the first time. I was like, okay, if this is possible, I mean, yeah, I know more. Some people are more talented than other people, more knowledgeable, and so on. But it shows that it is possible.
yeah.
So then it's up to the
And he
artist.
did it alone, right?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. So
and
yeah, sorry for interrupting, but
no, 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 sorry. And yeah, it was like 2007, I guess, when I saw his works, and I was like, okay, this is possible. He made his own music for the reel, that famous reels of him, and yeah, I started learning. I mean, I'm a slow paced learner. I like to take my time to learn some things, and I started doing some interiors and some bedrooms, some living rooms, and stuff like this. I wasn't at all doing exteriors because it was so hard for me, and a friend of my sister saw my work when he was at my home and at some point, and he showed this to his boss, whose wife is an interior designer. And back then, I don't know if there was a lot of people doing it, archivists. And I got her confidence, and we started doing some works. My first work was a bike store, a bike shop, and it was like, okay, I can earn money doing this, because before that was only a hobby. I loved doing this. My friends was out there playing other stuff and doing another stuff, or even playing games, but I was doing 3D. Even in my high school, I was doing 3D. Like, I don't remember myself other than before that, like doing other stuff. I mean, my career would be certainly be guided by art at some point. And yeah, I stayed with her for a couple of years while studying it and trying to get better. And some clients would appear out of nowhere, because I don't know if I had back then a page in the Facebook, but I guess it was a little later. But I guess it was like 2008, 2009. I had some works in the social media. It wasn't easy to spread out images for everyone to see, but I managed to get a few clients for some years. Um, did a did cool projects back then. And yeah, in 2011, when I was going back a little bit, when I was searching and found this forum, which had some, uh, it, they had a gallery and people discussing it. I met a friend there who is from my town, and we kept talking until this day. He's my oldest friend by the time. And he showed my work. I mean, he got a studio interview, and he refused it, but he showed my work to this studio, and they hired me for an intern position there, which is the studio I worked for 14 years. But in the same year I joined the studio, I also was studying for the design college. So yeah, it was a great point in my life where I was finding my way, and I used my goal was to focus on 3D, even if I was doing some interior project or exterior project for interior design. My focus always was 3D. I mean, I love this. And um, when I was doing the college, one thing that cool happened, one cool thing that happened was my teacher told me about this challenge, this national design challenge. And I was 1 year, I, I have started this course. It was 2012. And I didn't know anything about it, but I was doing 3D. So I had some great images for the time and for my skills back then. And I guess this was what set me up for being chosen by among a lot of contestants. And I got second place in this. Yeah, I I got an iPad and a bathroom sink, which is amazing.
Sorry, but
Yeah,
I
it's a
mean,
bathroom sink. It's a big bathroom sink. It's amazing. Yeah,
it's just so unusual. I mean, it's a
yeah, it
very
is.
cool prize, but it's just so unusual. Like the iPad, everybody can understand, but just the
Yeah,
bathroom
yeah.
sink is, I don't know. It's
For the
a
first place,
unique.
they would give in this bathroom sink and a tap. You know.
So yeah, the tap is better than an iPad. This is
Yeah,
what I
it
hear
was a
out.
really cool and organic tap. Like,
Oh,
I
as a
mean,
designer tab. Okay, I
yeah, it's a
understand.
designer tap.
But yeah, I mean, we will consider it for the Chaos Campus community. Next time there is a challenge, you win a beat day or something. But yeah, why not? I mean, people can enjoy it. different things.
Yeah,
Okay,
I
sorry.
mean, it was hard to bring it home because it was like a 30 kilograms sink. It's a big sink, but it was great. It's seated down in my parents' home right now until we build our home, and I would when I install it, I will take a photo and
Yeah, please do. I'm really excited to see it. By the way, sorry for interrupting
no,
here.
please.
We'll have a Q&A section in the end, but there is a question by Amit, which is kind of, I think it could you can kind of put into your story that you're telling us right now. He asked if you ever dreamt that you meet a nice 3D artist like Estella and you open your studio, like maybe as a teenager or later when you started going into 3D. Have you ever dreamt of such a scenario?
For sure, for sure. I've seen like two scenarios where I saw a couple working together, especially doing 3D, and I was like, this is really possible. I mean, this is okay, but I will not look for it. It gotta happen somehow, some way.
Yeah,
And it did
naturally.
so smoothly, so natural that I knew for sure that
Yeah.
this is the greatest thing happened to me. And yeah, so I after this challenge and I appeared in some magazines. It was a really cool thing too. Um, I When I left the college, I moved out from my parents' home. I got Chanel, and I focused only on the studio and my work for the years to come. I met some amazing clients and amazing artists and projects, like things that I wouldn't do if I were doing for myself. And yeah, the studio set me up for learning a lot of workflows. I mean, I'm so unorganized sometimes, and having a workflow and and people telling you what the best way to do something, it's really, I'm so grateful for that. And yeah, so for the years to come, I used to work only in the studio. I kind of forgot how to get clients, and I stopped working on my own portfolio. I was only doing the things I was supposed to do in order to have money to pay my rent and eat and stuff like this. I wasn't travels a lot too. I spend like 16 to sometimes 20 hours a day doing stuff in the computer. I stopped gaming, and I mean, I it kind of led me to, yeah, it kind of led me to sort of a motivation and depression and stuff like this. And yeah, I wanted to leave the company sometimes, but in the meantime, I loved doing what I was doing. It was like my, my mantra or something. When I do what I'm supposed to do, um, I was happy, but I felt like I was missing something for my background. Like I stopped drawing, I stopped taking photos, I stopped painting, and at some point I went so down, so I got so low, and I forced myself to start again. I start like force myself to do this radio telescope I told you about, and I can show you too. And yeah, it was a great start because I was using V-Ray back then. I knew Corona was happening, and but I'm kind of resistant to changes, and I stick a little more for with the V-Ray. And when I did my first test with Corona light mix and Corona rendering, I would never went back again to V-Ray. It was so intuitive and so easy to use, and you can reach like a good quality of work with no stress, no irradiance or light cache issues. And yeah, so when I was trying to get myself active again, I I kind of missed that forums, that people surrounded by people that doing 3D. I wasn't on social media, so I had no clue what people were doing it, like what the best quality you can reach nowadays, uh, compared to the back then. And yeah, I looked for a 3D course for Corona, and yeah, it was like I have found myself again doing this, because I found people discussing it, techniques, even in any level, like beginner or advanced level. I was like so happy again to see people talking about it, because I don't have many people, many friends around me that doing it, beside my that friend I told you. And we would discuss it all day long. And but on the internet, I didn't have that, so it was great to find this again. And it was where I found Stella. Stella was trying to get into this course again, and she making a video to get into this course, which, by the way, she won. Yeah, she won this course. And a year later, I mean, I when I saw her, I was like, okay, I'm not looking for a relationship right now, but she's the one that I would probably give it a shot, because she's so pure and honest about what she wanted to do. And I kind of grasped this love that she had for 3D that I had to. So it was a really powerful connection, but I didn't have met her yet. And a year later, she was having a problem with color banding or some bit stuff on a work she was doing. And I managed to help her, and we started talking about everything. And that time, I was like, okay, I can relate to someone, like romantically, I mean, and still does my work without this separation. Like my wife do another work and I do my work, and we talked about it. It's okay too, but doing this, like we live together and discuss 3D and discuss techniques and art and stuff like this, it's like a dream for sure. Yeah. And yeah, as soon as we started meeting each other, because she was living in Portugal and I was living in Brazil, and she went back and we meet each other, and we had a few, um, like we had three meets. We meet three times before living together. And yeah, we started playing with the idea to build our own studio, but we had no clients at all. I mean, I was still working for that studio, which, by the way, she joined us a couple years later, for 2 years. My mistake. And while we were doing this, um, we say, okay, let's get out of this company and do our own stuff. Because I mean, we were doing Unreal back then, which is amazing. We learned a lot, but I love rendering, and she does too. And we didn't want to lose this, so we work with clients, a few clients alongside our work on the studio. And yeah, we make this leap of faith, and yeah, we're doing with a few clients, but yeah, it's amazing. It's every day it's a dream, And yeah, we
Amit says that meeting Estella and everything was just written in your destiny, and you landed in
yeah,
the right spot. And I think
thank you.
um, you are living the dream in this
I
regard,
mean, yeah,
because obviously, yeah, most of us who have our significant others, they are not from the same industry, or they have nothing to do with 3D. So even though they can relate to our issues, they cannot relate to specific things. They can relate to the, let's say, the general problem. Like if a client has been difficult to deal with, or if somebody doesn't pay or something like this, but they cannot relate to a shader not turning out the way we wanted that much. So, I think having this is, of course, something many of us would dream about, and you're living the dream in this regard, and
Yeah,
that's awesome.
I
Congratulations for this. And
thank
I
you,
gotta say, you two are just so sweet together. So having you
thank
here
you.
after Estella just makes so much sense right now, after telling you your side of the story and hearing your side of the story. Well, because it's visible, even if you wouldn't say this to all of us, it's immediately visible the way you reacted to her being in the show and the way she reacts here, because she wrote from your phone. She says, Estella here, I'm using Pedro's phone because Pedro is using mine. This life is so cool. I'm very proud of Pedro. He is very nice. And
uh,
it's visible that you two belong together. So I think wishing you from me and from all the others here watching us today, long and happy life together, not only
thank
work
you,
but also your
thank you.
private life, because this is something absolutely awesome. We can talk more about this by the end of the show in the Q&A
Hmm.
section. And now let's maybe jump in to take a look at some news. We'll make it really short because
Okay,
we don't want to make it um, too long about in this part. I'll just move this over there so that I can just share my screen. I just don't see the button right now.
okay,
Okay, let me share the screen and we can then check out some approaching events. Okay, the window, this is it. This should be the right one. You see it?
yeah.
So, yeah, first thing, an event approaching in the group is this Architecture in Motion and Vision live show, which will happen in a week from now on. So on July 29th, same time as our show started today, 4 p.m. Central European Time. And it will be once again hosted by Josh Radu, who is great at this. He's himself is an Inkscape application engineer at Chaos, so he knows his way very much around Inkscape and Envision, but also will feature an absolutely great panel of absolutely knowledgeable people. We had a prep talk last week, and I gotta say, this is something which I absolutely regret not recording, because these people know so incredibly much. So we have Furid from Red Thomas, who is like very much into this stuff. We have Ludovic Michaud, who is the VFX creative director at Corgan, and who uses, I think, the whole palette of Chaos projects, maybe apart from Corona. And then, of course, also Anna Lyubanova, who is the project manager for Enscape and Envision at Chaos. So we have people who know a lot. And I think this session will provide us with many answers that have been open in the community for a long time now, such as what's the actual difference between Enscape, Envision, and Vantage, when to use each of these software. And the best thing is that the people who will be there, they actually have worked or actively work with all of those pieces of software. So they can tell you in which occasion you need to go with V-Ray or rather Vantage, or more with Escape or Envision. And I think this is really, it is something that I'm looking forward to very much, even though I'll be in the background. I'll just be a part of this session as a producer, but I definitely recommend it to you. Pedro, have you tried?
No,
Um,
unfortunately, no, I didn't. I haven't.
yeah,
But I
you,
will surely
I
be join this live show for sure.
yeah, I mean, the thing is, though, I mean, the recent version of Envision 1.1 is out for, I think, a week now.
Hmm.
And I mean, people always say, like, yeah, GPU rendering, it's not that great. If you want to do good renders, you need to go for CPU like Corona or V-Ray. But let me tell you that I
This is
find this image to be pretty amazing.
this is amazing. This is all 3D.
Yeah, the way I see it, this is all 3D. I also spend a lot of
This
time
is
examining it, but as far as I can tell, these are just vehicles from
the
the
lighting
Cosmos
is so
Library.
natural.
Yeah, it's just so natural and it looks amazing. So I wouldn't agree. Yeah, you get more photorealism with CPU rendering with Corona or V-Ray, but looking at this image, I gotta say this is amazing.
I mean,
And
this is not about the software. It's more about the artist. And I mean, we talked about a little bit about Alex Roman, and he was doing it this kind of quality with no resource at all, you know.
This
And
is the thing. I mean, what you see here, there, it's just a ton of detail, and this is very typical for, let's say, an old inner city urban situation like this one. There are millions of details. You see, like there are post boxes and recycle bins and street signs and millions of people and cafes, different facades. And when you invest the time to create this, it automatically starts looking very realistic. And then, with a pleasant lighting, the good sets, having drivers in the cars, people walking around, and it already looks very, very realistic. So yeah, and for those people who want to try out and envision before this live session happens in a week, Chaos got your back, which is really, really nice because there is a 30-day trial of
I will try
Envision
for
that you
sure.
can just download, try out. There are also sample scenes. If you,
Mm.
instead of, investing the time to create scenes from scratch, you can just take one of the sample scenes and experiment with it right away, which
It's a
is
great
also
start
great.
to learning about.
Yeah, and there is the Chaos Academy where you can learn how to get started with Envision based on those scenes that you had. So you can really quickly get into this and eventually have some questions for this live session. Alternatively, wait for the session. If you're not sure if Envision is the right thing for you, wait for the session to happen, listen to it, and see if Envision is something that you can eventually integrate in your workflow. That's something that suits you. And if this is the case, then gladly come back to Chaos. It's just chaos.com/envision, and then you can try it out for yourself and see if this is something that you could profit from or not. We're not doing this
Amazing.
as a commercial. We're doing it just because it could really be useful to you. So,
Sure will.
does it make you curious, Pedro? I myself, let me
For
tell you, I have a
sure. For sure.
huge
I
scene
mean,
I would try it out with.
I've never tried a GPU handler before, but I've seen a lot of crazy work with another with others handler engines for GPU, and I've seen Vantage, but I haven't tried to yet because, as I mentioned before, I'm a little resistant, so I stay with Corona for a little bit. But for some especially kind of jobs, like you can do some animations or stuff like this, like really quick before than using the CPU handling. Um, this is amazing. The quality that we're seeing is mind blowing, for sure.
Yeah, I think so too. And I mean, it costs nothing to try it out. I have
Hmm.
a huge exterior scene, and where I would gladly really try to, especially try out how Envision works with Anima because the integration is really pretty direct,
Seamless.
pretty easy, and like having all that life in such a huge scene, like cars driving around and people walking around. I think
Makes a whole
this
difference. Yeah.
yeah, this elevates the scene a lot. So I would definitely be trying it out. I don't know if this is something that will suit me in the long term or I would need it in the long term, but I'll definitely try it out to see what I can get from it. I think
Yeah.
it's important to do so.
Yeah.
Okay, let's move on to another announcement. While we're talking about stuff like this, the CG Architect 3D Awards are still open for submissions until the end of July. And we just talked about this, right? You can, if you want to win something, you gotta participate. You can try out your luck. You never know. You can win something in the best case, but in the worst case, you've put your name out there.
And you still learn about the process and
Yeah,
how things
exactly.
works. Yeah.
You know what to do in future. Next time there is a challenge or a competition, you know how to participate. You're better prepared, and you still have 9 days, so you can still share or submit your commissioned or even non-commissioned stills or animations. So there is a lot that you can contribute to this. There are rules that you can see, and yeah, I'll just post it once again in the chat. In the meantime, Amit says the new update of Envision is awesome with new features of animal like traffic control simulation, vehicles reacting with humans. Yeah, this is just so amazing. I really want to test it out. Just even if I won't use it in future, I just want to see how it works because this is
For the
fascinating.
sake of it. Yeah.
Yeah, for the sake of it, but from time to time, I really do have these large scale projects. So having something where I can, make them even better looking, more dynamic, more interesting to look at is worth it, you know. But yeah,
Great.
definitely worth a try. And finally, because we just talked about putting yourself out there, even if you participate in something like this, we already started with our YouTube shorts. We have the first video live already. It's Amit. Of course, it's Amit. We owed him this. I think we all agree. He made a wonderful clip, by the way. This is a really, really good one because, first of all, I really enjoy his very laid back posture. Like, hey, I'm just here chilling and telling you about the Kiosk campus. And then he very honestly communicated what he feels about this community and why he profits from it, how why he likes it. So yeah, folks, you're next, and you, Pedro,
Okay.
next too.
I'll do
Um,
it.
just record a vertical video, like 9:16 aspect ratio, up to 3 minutes length,
Hmm.
and then send it over to me, and then I'll start uploading this as shorts on our official YouTube channel. And once again, you have your face, your voice, your name on an official
Out
Chaos
there.
channel, which gives
Yeah.
you exposure.
Yeah.
So
I don't
don't
know
miss
if
the
I can
chance.
do it better than Emmett, but I will try. Sure.
Yeah, I mean, this is a heavy burden, obviously, but try to top him. See it as a challenge. I mean,
Yeah.
did great. Maybe let's top him, but you don't need to. You can
I know.
say
I mean,
something else. Just be honest.
yeah.
Nobody expects perfection. Just be honest and tell other people. Like if you're meeting a friend and this friend is like, "I'm looking for a nice community for 3D. Which one should I join?" And then you answer like, "Hey, I like the Chaos Campus because," and then you say what you think. Nobody's telling you what to say. Just be honest.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm looking forward to your videos. I make a post once again, but start creating those videos just with your phone. And you don't even need to be on your computer. You can be somewhere outside. Just make sure that we can understand you. You can hear what you say. And I think this would be awesome. And I'm looking forward to your contributions and yours,
Okay.
Pedro, too.
Okay.
Amit says, Pedro, you can do it, man. So, oh,
Thank you.
Mariana,
Okay, I
hello.
can do it now.
You're here on time. I expect such a video from you as well. Please. Okay. I think this was enough of news because we don't want to spend too much time talking about news. I think it's time for some reviews now. Are you ready, Pedro?
Yeah, I'm good.
That's amazing.
Ready.
So I've picked up 5 works, with the last one being very special. All of them are special and awesome, but the last one you all see when we reach it. Why is it so
Okay.
special? But we'll start with this apartment block project by Oliverio. Is it how this name is pronounced? Because the name sounds like
I
Latin
guess,
American or
yeah.
something.
Olivero
Oliverio.
Pelagio
But
Santos. I
yeah,
guess he's Mexican.
yeah. But
I did
it's
a little
like
research.
closer to Brazil than Germany, right?
Yeah,
So
it is.
yeah. Anyway, let's see what he has to say about it. Hello, the residential structure showcases a facade of exposed concrete and wood integrating naturally with the urban fabric. Each balcony provides a moment of calm within the fast-paced city environment. Very nicely put. It's done in 3ds Max, Corona, with the help of Railclone and Forest Pack. Let's go through the images, and Pedro, you can please tell me what you think about this
First of
work.
all, this is amazing set of renderings. I mean, when I first looked this tree framing on this so beautiful, seamlessly matched together, it was like really good. I had to zoom in like on each detail to get like, whoa, this
He
is
did it himself.
it.
These are outtakes. These are
Yeah,
not new angles. These are outtakes of the first
yeah,
image.
yeah, yeah. And
Yeah,
the lighting, I mean, the shadow work is so amazing. Even the reflection of the trees on the balconies on the glass ratings is something that really stands out for me. This humanization, these people out there was so natural that yeah, I mean, the interior showing on the outside, it's a big plus too. I mean, I didn't do it so much myself, but yeah, it's really like fills the space, fills the scene and gives like a reality check for everything we see. So I love this work like 100%. It's a great piece of art for sure.
I really enjoy it too, and I think it's the first project he shares, or I cannot remember a previous one, but
Have you
it
seen
is.
his Behance?
No, I haven't. I usually, this is something that, yeah, this is good that you mention it. Many people share, let's say, three, four images, and then say, for the rest, go to Behance or whatever. In reality, this doesn't quite
Where,
work that
yeah.
well as people as imagine it, because I don't have the time. I want to
Hmm.
give you feedback, but if I have to go search for your images first,
You know, yeah,
I won't do it. It's not because I don't want to, but I and many others don't have the time for this. So
yeah,
if you want to share images, share them here. So,
yeah.
I mean,
I
there are very, very rare occasions where I would do this. One of those artists was Romain Brunos, because he creates those very sci-fi inspired renders, and his work is so out of line with regular artists and stuff, that I decided to really see what else he does. But this is an exception. What I do is I just view the images that are shared. So folks, when you share something, please share everything you need to, because your Behance link, it may be useful to some, but I don't have time for this. But did you see his
Yeah, I
Behance?
did, and he got some amazing works out there, and caught my attention for like he do like hotels and most archivists like archivist stuff, but really like emotional stuff. You know, like this piece of
Yeah.
art, like it's
Yeah, we gotta say
you got
we see
yourself a
that he knows
fan.
what he's doing. Just take a look at like this, the framing, like every framing I like, and
Yeah,
I also really like that, as you said, the amount of detail on this work is so good that then he can actually afford to make outtakes, because there are five images here in this project, but actually it's just two renders,
yeah,
and the rest are just outtakes, like this one. This is an outtake from this scene. But if you render in a high enough quality, if you work with enough detail, then you can afford to do this. And initially I didn't even realize it. I saw this and I was like, okay, this is like the first scene, and oh, this is like a zoom close up
but
another
it's
angle,
the same image. Yeah,
but it's the same image, it's just a cutout from it. So this is really great. And of course, this is a
this one.
perfect example of natural framing. Just take a look at the trees, how they support the form of the building with a
And
perspective.
the surrounding buildings too, it's
Yeah,
like
exactly. With the
most people like do the surrounding buildings with not much love we do for the main building,
yeah,
but this one it's yeah,
yeah,
I zoomed in pure half and I was like, whoa, this is really good. Like looks like scanned model. The
yeah.
materials are so good, and
The
the
love is there. The love
details.
is there, and it's
Yeah,
visible. Materials, modeling, detailed, everything is very, very nice.
everything is filled up. You don't see like an empty background
Yeah,
or something like this. It's
and the lighting, take a look at the lighting
the
composition,
lighting is
how
so
the
yeah.
foreground is dark, the surrounding buildings are dark as well, and what's lit up? The main hero, his building, as it should be. And it's done in a very, very elegant way, in a way in which this situation here is also very pleasant. Like, people can relate to this because they see, oh, you see people sitting in a cafe on a sunny day. This is a great thing to do. So you want to create something which is relatable. It's not only about lighting composition. You have people sitting on the outside, so you want to give them a nice weather, so that sitting on the outside is actually a pleasure for them, right?
Mhm.
And also, by the way, good use of AI. If we zoom in, you see that people
Yeah,
look very realistic. So the enhancement is has worked out pretty fine. I mean, this dude looks a bit bored. Maybe it's a first date and she's the whole time on the phone. But apart from this, it's very nice.
I mean,
Do you have?
storytelling is not only about love, you know, it's about
It's
awkwardness
about
and
building.
it's
Yeah.
about real stuff.
Do you have any improvements suggestions?
Well, I mean, the the other image, the nice frame.
Yeah.
Yes, this one. When I zoomed in, I saw the this light pole intersecting with the tree a little bit. It's a. I mean, I had to zoom in a lot to see this,
what intersects with the tree?
This light pole, this
Oh, this
on
one, the
the
lamp
right,
here.
yeah,
Oh yeah,
yeah, intersecting a little bit with the tree, but it's a like a minor thing.
yeah,
I mean, I did a lot of zooming to to see some flaws, but I mean, I haven't seen more than this. Other than I would put some people driving the car, so it doesn't look like a self-driven car. And the use of AI, I mean, it's a nice touch because the curbs, the dirtiness, but it also kept the feeling of this is a like a rich project, you know, like a high
yeah. High
end,
class
high
luxury.
class, yeah, luxury, and it kept it for 100%. I mean,
Yeah,
uh,
yeah,
I
it's
I
really well done. But you're very kind. I'm not that kind. I'm here to criticize as well. So yeah, something which Amit just also wrote in the comments. Um, Unless this is a hotel, what you said, judging by his behance, he does a lot of. It doesn't. If this is like an apartment building, it doesn't make sense that every interior is the same. This never happens in an apartment building. People don't furnish exactly the same. Every neighbor, like the one next to them. So
Mhm.
unless this is a hotel, which I don't think it is, because hotels usually would have hotels staying somewhere, then it doesn't make sense for the interiors to look like they do. And if this is a hotel, let's say this is the case, then it makes no sense for
Different
it to have
curtains, yeah,
curtains and blinds. It either
yeah,
has curtains or blinds. So I think it should one should decide which one to go with and then go with it. And the next thing is same goes with the lighting. Like it doesn't make sense for every interior space to be
lit,
equally lit up. If this is, let's say, an apartment building, I mean, it's during the day, right? Most apartments will actually be dark during the day, and then eventually you have a light here and there, and then the light won't be the same intensity and the same light color temperature. Some lights will be colder, others will be warmer. This can be very nicely achieved with multi-map, um, or if you use light material, for example, or you can use it by scattering the light sources along a line and then scattering different light sources or leaving ones just blank. So yeah, and the balconies, he already started populating the balconies with those plants, and this is great already. This looks amazing. But to add a bit more life to them, I would also add a person here and there, just enjoying the view or maybe talking with a friend, and then also some furniture, but subtle furniture, something like this, something
hmm
which isn't very visible, not like huge rattan armchairs or something like this, just something which is barely visible. You see how these things are here, but at the same time, you barely see them. So I would suggest something like this just to make it more homey, to make it more lived in. And,
100%.
and yeah, in terms of lighting, one more thing that I forgot is like everything and the upper floors is lit up, but at the ground floor where we have this public usage, the coffee is lit up, but the bar is dark, which makes no sense. So in a building like this, the ground floor needs to be continuously lit up, and then the upper floors just here and there. I understand it gives a more
Focus
uniform,
on the main building, yeah,
yeah, more uniform look also, if it's not just like spotty with lights here and there and stuff. But in terms of realism, this isn't that realistic. And when we go back to the street scene, which I really admire in terms of natural framing, this is just a perfect example. You cannot really do much better. But when it comes to the street space, this is where things go a bit downhill for me, because if you take a look at this work up here, it's like perfect. I don't have anything to change. I didn't even see this issue that you talked about. But what we have here is a summer scene, and what we have down here at street level is an autumn scene. We have autumn leaves, we have a wet street, and obviously a wet street doesn't make so much sense given that people are sitting here enjoying a summer coffee, and those yellow leaves don't really match all the greenery that you have here. So in such cases, I understand that you want to have fallen leaves, but make sure they're kind of beige or desaturated green so that it suggests that they are fallen from the trees. It happens in the city, but they are still fresh and summer leaves, and then scatter less of those. And when it
yeah.
comes to the
I've managed to see on the other image on the first image, the scattered leaves was like felt like a little pattern, you
Yeah,
know. It's a lot
yeah,
of pattern, so
like
that
these
caught
waves.
my
Yeah,
attention. And some of leaves are still floating too, so I just the pivot so it doesn't like.
yeah. I mean, with a work like this, you have many things to take care of. It's
Yeah,
normal, but
I know, yeah.
um, and the next thing is when we take a look at at the road lines. Let's imagine that this is a one-way street. Okay, it makes no sense for
The
this
arrows,
here to be that because it means that this car will go to the front and then it will, rotate, go left and collide with a car which is only allowed to drive straight ahead. So I
yeah,
assume that these two should be facing the other
on the
direction.
opposite,
So
yeah.
yeah, so these are not big deals, but it's, I mean, with a quality work like this, this needs to be said. And one final thing is that the disc brakes of the black car are very prominent. They're like too
Okay,
saturated and kind of distracting. And you see how everything that, like the color scheme here, the color palette is so beautiful, so desaturated and nicely
caught
kind
the
of,
attention.
aligned to each other. And then you have this really bold red, which kind of, it's screaming, I'm here, take a look at me, and you don't want this. So just,
Okay,
desaturate, make standard, you
another,
know, breaks.
yeah, another thing that I saw is the, I mean, there's some AI using this, but especially in where you see the name of things, like in this Porsche, if you zoom in, you see some flaws, like the name Porsche is,
I cannot zoom in anymore, but
yeah, yeah, the in this zooming you cannot see it, but on the name of the car and stuff like this, you got a little glitches that you see, we see on use of Magnific or
yeah,
some
yeah,
other.
stuff like this. Yeah. Yeah,
But
I think, yeah, it does. I mean, generally, it's really really greatly done. So this is obviously just us nitpicking, but once again,
for
I think,
commercial work is a,
yeah, every artist has can develop further. Even like Mir can develop. Okay, not much, but they can still develop. So yeah, and this is why we're here. This is the way of helping. Once again, there's an interesting question by Abdi in the comments. He says, besides the look and the lighting and all the good stuff that we see here, I'm pretty much interested to know more about the workflow and how this is done. Will it be a pain in the back once the client will ask for any modifications, or is it done in a way with further modifications in mind? What do you think? I think most of it is still the 3D model and it's done directly in 3D, with meaning
yeah.
that the modifications are easily incorporated. What needs to be redone is then the AI enhancement,
Hmm.
probably.
And
But
what one other other thing that I saw, I mean, I was really picky on this one, but this woman in the black for the left, yes, this one, and the inside the bar, I guess it's the same couple,
oh yeah,
but
these two.
yeah, but I mean, it's not noticeable for most
Yeah,
clients, or yeah,
I didn't see it either, but yeah, you're right about this. And yeah, I mean, but generally, to answer up this question, I don't think that this is a work where, let's say, a client changes something and you had to start from all over. I think you can still, most of it, like 95%, is done in 3D, meaning that it can be easily adapted and changed. And of course, there is some AI post production at top, which needs to be redone afterwards. But all in all, I think it's a wonderful start for today's review session, right?
yeah,
And
for sure.
after seeing this, and we think, okay, we cannot top this. Well, yes, we can, because next we have
Whoa, this is
one
amazing
of the
too.
greatest works I have think I've seen in this in our group, commercial work. It needs to be said. So it's a work by Mattia, called White Hole. Let me read what he says, and I'm very curious to hear what you say about it, Pedro. Mattia writes, hi everyone, I'd like to share a project I'm particularly fond of, as I was involved not only in the rendering work but also in the architectural and interior design in collaboration with a UK-based practice. It's a rear extension of a semi-detached house just outside London. The style draws on materials typical of traditional British homes, but reinterpreted in a more contemporary way. As I often do, I also created a set of images with a more commercial daytime lighting, but I've chosen to share only these as I feel they convey a sense of slowness, as if the time were slowing down. Project is called Whitehall, sorry, and it's done in Outplan, Cinema 4D, Corona, and Photoshop. I'll start going through the images, and you please start spitting out superlatives and
Okay, this
compliments.
one is like, I mean, look at this ground, you know? So many layers of details and like nicely done. The lighting is so natural. I mean, it looks like a photograph for me. It looks like a great photograph. Like the trees so well framed. This one, the contrast is like this glowing outside this house, like really made it stand out for me. Nothing to
He
say
didn't
about
stop
it. I mean,
there.
this is, yeah. I mean, this is amazing. This skylight, this window, sky windows,
Yeah,
lighting,
skylights are
really,
awesome.
uh, really beautiful. Really beautiful. One of the best I've seen too. Like this contrast, this contrast about of the bluish environment or the warmth of the artificial lighting is a one thing that gets me every time when it's nicely done. When it's white balance, it's so neutral and pleasant to see. I mean, this velvet material, amazing. This power cord on the phone. Look at this. This is
I don't know if
amazing.
this is enhanced, but or it's just a greater set, but whatever it
Felt
is,
tasty.
it looks. Yeah, I want to be there.
Look at this shot, man. Oh my god. This
Yeah, the
is
materials are definitely a highlight here. Like, yeah, that's so realistic, so well done.
this
Even
tiny millimeter gap between to the floor and the wall and this dirt on the pot plant, this switch, this socket. I mean, outside these bricks. I mean, everything. On even this little gap between the leaf and the wall, you
yeah,
know, this is amazing.
yeah. That's precision and a lot of
Yeah.
skill here. And I think what we also need to complement here, apart from everything that we said, is also the description, because
Yeah.
the description actually made us, or me personally, appreciate the work way more, knowing that he didn't only visualize this, but he also was part of the architectural and interior design concept, which makes it even greater for me. Like,
Yeah, it
of
kind
course,
of
he's fond of this.
yeah, it kind of brings you into this project with him, you know.
Yeah, and it's like I'm
Look
sure
this,
the clients are happy,
yeah, yeah, for sure. Look,
and
this
as
edge of the glass is so nicely done.
and something like this, for example, especially here, like people gotta consider there is real life is not perfect. There are exceptions, of course. For example, when there is a golf course, yeah, if you take a look at it, grass looks perfect there. But this is because there are people who take care of it on a daily basis. Most people, like the inhabitants of this house, the owners, they probably don't have the time to do this on a daily basis. So it's normal for their grass to look more like this, right? So it adds a layer of authenticity and realism, which is so important. And the
Gives
other topic,
personality to the work, I guess.
the
Yeah.
lighting, you mentioned it, how nice the lighting is. And also it's not only nice, it's also very, very locally authentic, which, let's not forget, it's British weather. If you depict it like this strong midday sun, like you have it in Brazil, for example, then it won't look that convincing as it does right now, because British weather, even if it's sunny and nice, tends to
It's
be more like
overcast.
this.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's kind of partially overcast. So these images are very authentic in terms of the locality of this project.
100%.
Uh,
I've
Mikkel
never
has
been
my
to
only
London, but
question
yeah.
from this work is about the diagonal bricks from the outside. What is with the diagonal bricks? It's, as
Yeah,
far as I know, it's done like this here in Europe. You can see it often like this, and it's executed greatly. Maybe there should have been a bit more of a grout, like there is one here,
Hmm.
up here. But
Hmm.
apart from that, this is just like mind blowing.
Yeah, the
Uh,
unwrap was on top.
like, yeah, this like, and also the greenery. One other thing about, because we talk so much about authenticity, like take a look at this garden. It looks nice. One can imagine having a good time there, but it's not overdone. Like you see that there are two plants, they are quite different plants in different looking pots, because this is how people get plants. You don't go and buy plants looking
It's
in
the
the same
same
pot
pot.
stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just, you get one, you buy one, then somebody comes over and gifts you with another plant which is bought somewhere else and has a different pot. And this is how you get a pot. So when you do this, try to do it like this. This looks so authentic. And then also all the other plants that we see scattered here, let's say here in the back, they are typical for this environment, because sometimes I see, palm trees in Germany and stuff like this, and this just isn't the case. There is
Doesn't
a
fit.
palm tree here, but it's only inside in a pot where it's warm. So yeah, this is definitely something where a lot of thought has been put into
the, the
everything.
whole project is coherent, you know.
Yeah, that, I mean, we can talk about superlatives forever. Do you have anything to criticize?
Well, the only thing I think is the use of AI again. I've seen some glitches even
Well,
on the outside and the inside, but it's so subtle.
do
Go
we
on
have
the
an
first image.
example?
Yeah, on the first image, like
The
the
first
beautiful one. Yeah,
here,
this one. I mean the roof ridge, I guess is what it's called on the top.
here,
No, on the top, right on the back.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, here,
this part right here, I guess it's a little
yeah,
glitch. I don't know if
yeah.
it's
It's,
done
it's
like
called Ridge,
this.
as far as I know.
Yeah, and the floor tiles on this tiny balcony down there.
Oh
I
yeah,
guess the yeah this part, but I mean, and the upper part right close to the window too. I mean, you see the gaps and then you don't see anymore. But I don't think
yeah,
it's done this way. I guess it's the use of AI.
yeah.
But I
Most
mean,
likely. But I
and
mean,
I yeah, you don't
imagine
you.
these are the issues with you with somebody's
I
work.
mean, I gotta zooming in so for so much, you know, it's like
Yeah.
really big zooming to see. But when you look at the image, you don't see any flaw. It's like a really
No,
10 image, like
it could be
perfect.
an Arc daily session. Like,
Oh yeah, for sure, for sure.
uh, what I see is for this one, I really
Hmm.
like it. Obviously, it's very nice with the contrast and stuff. What I think, and it's more of a subjective thing, it's not something which is wrong, because it seems like he used the actual lights on the inside, the actual lamps on the inside to illuminate this interior, which is a great idea. But I think we shouldn't forget that what we are virtual photographers, and photographers use tricks to alter reality to make it look even better than it already is. So the way I see it, this one should be is even a bit underexposed, and could be even more exposed, could be more illuminated from within, like a safe haven where you're in the darkness and you see it, and like a lighthouse. This is where it's safe. I want to go inside. This is like the subliminal message of a shot like this. And for this, I think it could be even brighter on the inside, even if it's a bit artificial. So if I were Mattia, I would probably add a few invisible lights just to pump up the brightness on the inside.
I
And
agree.
I think on the side, like a side effect, some of this light may bleed out here and also through the
Mhm.
skylights up here, and very subtly highlight some of the details that are already there.
Yeah, the lighting sound looked to me kind of flat on the outside. Like you see the both corners of the wall and the same lit. I missed some shadowing there, but as you say, the lighting coming out from the inside would be a great great
Yeah,
visual impact for sure.
Danushka says the same, and there should be a little bit of warm light falling on the veranda, just a bit, exactly. So this is what I'm missing for this one. I know why he did it. He wants us to focus on this extension rather than anything else. This is why no window is lit up here. Also, then he should have also done some interior work there as well. But nevertheless, I would pump up the exposure of this one. And the other issue that I have, it's once again a subjective one, is that on some of the shots the FOV is quite strong. Like this one, for example, you see the distortion, or this one. This is like a very, very heavy distortion already, but it's still looking so good that I don't think that it would bother many
Yeah,
people.
the note that I did for those two images you just passed, is that personally I don't do this kind of camera with larger FOV, but this in this situation, I mean, it kind of matched so well because you can see the details on this different ceiling, and you see the same aesthetic on the floor. I mean, and partially,
Yeah,
and I like the framing of it, but I personally don't do this kind of camera, like height camera,
yeah, but
and but
but
I loved it. And
yeah.
I see another
So
glitch on the sky window down there, up there too.
yeah, yeah, there are some glitches. You could also see this, I think, on a very first shot here. Like there is this
I didn't see
gap
that.
or whatever. There's this small edge here which shouldn't be there. But once again, I think it doesn't really matter. I think this is one absolutely exceptional commercial work, and I would be
Yeah,
happy if I had it in my portfolio, to be very honest. And not only, once again, not only because of the visualization part, but also because of the great design and
yeah,
architectural work as well. So Mattia, congrats. Very cool. Let's move over to Casa MF. My mind is really spoiled, I gotta say. When I read MF, there is only one word as an association, which isn't I'm not allowed to say in a live session like this. But yeah, this is Casa MF by Domenico, and he describes it as, "Hi all, I show you my private project recently realized. There are the renderings of the project. Among the commands, I show you a photo taken by a client. I hope you like it. Comments are welcome." Domenico is in the comments. I also saw him earlier. So I hope you're still watching, Domenico, because now we'll be talking about your amazing work. Here, by the way, this is
the
the
photo.
photo. And we'll start with the first shot. So let's compare. First shot, photo, render, photo.
Yeah,
So
it's
pretty precise, right?
pretty precise. Yeah,
Okay,
I
so what
mean,
do you
I
think?
like the rendering more than the actual photo. So I mean, it's wonderful design. I loved it. It's very subtle. Um, I like that he managed to put the light in the each IIS for each spots, so you can see. I
Yeah,
mean, there is another picture. You can see this more.
this is
This
beautiful.
shot is amazing.
Yeah, beautiful close up.
This image for me is the best because of the color grading. I mean, so it's neutral while it's natural. You don't have this fighting against color, like a pinkish color on the environment or something like this. um, I guess like the models used are very well done. The materials, I mean, like this framing over there with the spot. I like to see when the light is coherent with the amount of spots you have in the scene. So that caught my attention. The building out there, yeah, this window,
I
like
think it's
it's.
part of the same house, actually, the outer
Oh,
facade that
okay,
you see. So it's
okay.
like here you enter the room, and this is the window of that room that you enter here. This is
Mm-hmm.
how I understand it. But may I just add something to this?
Mm-hmm.
Because you said for you this is the best shot, and I gotta say, like to me, the lighting here is really one of the highlights, and it's very balanced. And you often hear me during this show recommend for people to use like sunset or sunrise and have the light reach deeper into the interior and have some direct sunlight, sunshine, some beams go into the interior. But in this case, using an overcast lighting is the absolute right choice because the interior already is full of edges, breaks, bends, knickknacks. So there is so much going on. The furniture the floor plan, the walls, the ceilings. So if you add this type of lighting that I usually recommend atop of this, then it will become too much. You have too many layers of things happening and it will become distracting and confusing. So this is one great example where the overcast lighting, which is very popular with interiors in recent times, is very well used.
Yeah, I totally agree. I mean, this one is very well balanced for me. And the overexposure on the outside is on the limits, you know.
Yeah,
It's like a photograph would do.
yeah. And also so many angles. It's so great if you, because
Yeah,
this seems like it's a real project which is done in collaboration with the architects, with the interior designers. And if you have like specific furniture, we oftentimes have projects where somebody gives us a ground floor and says just make an
create.
interior,
Yeah,
place some random furniture inside, make it nice. But this, judging by the comparison photo, sofa, table, dining table, the kitchen, everything was already in the works. So making so many angles makes so much sense because you want to see how the kitchen, beautiful details. You want to
beautiful.
see, let's say, the dining table, how it looks like with the rack behind it. You want to see the kitchen, but you also want to see how it looks like to be in the kitchen. What do you see
Yeah,
then? Oh, here it is. So it makes sense to have so many shots when you do something which will be implemented this exactly.
and the materials like is very precise. The wood, you can feel the textures
Yeah.
on the previous image. You can feel the texture on the balcony, no, on the cabinet, the island. Um, come back one image for me, please.
This one?
This, yeah, this one. This caught my attention. This spot, lighting this plant, yeah, and the shadow on the pillar, like it's the
Yeah.
cherry on the top for me. And this wood on this island is very well done. You can feel the texture, and the gap below the island is some stuff that most people forget it, but it brings a lot of realism.
Yeah. Gaps are important. We have them everywhere. Things
Yeah,
are not
chamfer
uh,
and gaps everywhere.
clipping through each other. Yeah, absolutely. Soft edges. I mean, even wood, even something which is sharp edged has some chamfer. Then you need just a very low chamfer value, but
Yeah,
it's still you still need chamfer. And yeah, lighting. The way the natural light mixes with the artificial illumination is just very well done. This is true compliment from my side. And you know what? Before we go any further, the staging I also like very much. This was also the case by Mattia, like having, let's say, the racks full of books and some personal stuff, and the rest is just a bit of decoration here and there. So that is not too much and doesn't get distracting. But let me show you something because this is from an architectural point of view. Now I speak as an architect, not so much as a 3D artist, but this is a difficult type of ground floor to work with because what we usually like in architecture, what we usually aim at is a square floor plan because then you have the flexibility to put things wherever you want to have them. With something which is long and narrow, it becomes very difficult because things can be put at certain places only, but not everywhere. And this is a very interesting approach to how to deal with a space like this. And what I really love is the way they have hidden the TV here. And this is a big topic because we often see, I think we're getting out of this phase, but for a long time we had these Scandinavian minimalistic beige interiors, like, and you have everything in beige, gray, white. It's like this lightweight color palette, and suddenly you have this
black.
huge ass black surface on the wall, creating a enormous tonal contrast that you don't want to have because the TV is not that important. And having something like this is actually such an elegant way of, hiding the TV. And I remember while studying with my best friend studying architecture, we were like, one day when we finish studying, when we work, we will definitely have our living rooms arranged to our fireplace, but not to the
The
TV.
TV, amazing.
Now,
Yeah,
years later, we have our living rooms arranged to a TV. Obviously, we're not very happy with
you
this.
have your fireplace and your TV above.
Yeah, we play just some flames on YouTube. But this is really what I do on Christmas night. By the way, it's a rental. We cannot build a fireplace, but
Yeah.
seeing watching a solution like this actually gives some ideas for me personally, as somebody who likes to hide their TV, but also for our interiors. This is a wonderful idea how to very elegantly hide a TV and
Agree.
avoid this huge tonal contrast which happens when you have a bright interior, bright color palette like here, and then this huge black spot. How do you deal with
100%.
TVs?
Well, in my home, TV is a really black mirror on this on the wall, unfortunately. But um, I mean, for a long time, I haven't watched TV, only movies sometimes. But I don't personally like it. But it's a great distraction for sometimes. But being the main thing in the living room, I guess it's not something that I want to, that I like to. But yeah, nowadays it's what happens for
Yeah, I
most
mean,
people homes.
I don't watch TV. I watch movies. Like
Yeah,
let's
me
say
too.
every Saturday evening we have a movie night with the kids and stuff, and this is like a family event. So this is what the TV is for. This is why we put also a TV also in our garden shed, just for
Hmm.
that. And also we play games like PlayStation, Nintendo Switch, and this is what we need a TV for. TV like television, news and stuff. I don't really like watching
No,
because it's just
I don't
depressing.
read any news at all. People say it's about stuff going on, and I don't like it. I don't want to see it. I don't want to know it. I just watch movies sometimes, and that's it.
I don't
I
know about
mean,
Brazilian news, but news here are like death, war, famine, and stuff like.
on worldwide, yeah.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
mean, here is
exactly.
politics, and ugh, I mean,
Yeah. But
I don't
anyway,
like it.
Chad, are you still there? What do you watch TV? How do you deal with the TV at your home, your studio, or at your interiors that you design? Because this is something that I can really recommend for all your interiors in future. Obviously, it doesn't suit every interior, but uh, if you have the chance, if you use those wooden slats, this is a great way to hide a TV and avoid a
I
contrast.
agree.
So let's move over because I think we said everything positive about this work, which there
Mhm.
is a lot of. It's just a great work. Do you have some improvement suggestions?
Well, this on this scene, I guess the black assets, the black decoration caught my attention more than I would like to see. Um, but I mean, on the overall scenes, on the whole overall pack of images, I felt that one image from another, you see that's a color grading going on, like a pinkish color or a bluish, a
Here, if
purple.
you compare the first one with the photo, you see how this one has a bit of a
Yeah, yeah,
pinkish hue atop of it, right?
yeah, yeah. And that
Yeah,
one that I say this is the best one. It's mostly because of the color grading.
yeah.
This
This is
one for
neutral.
me, yeah, this is neutral. This speaks more like a quality work. Not that the other one isn't quality at all. I mean, this is amazing work. But the color really gets me because I've struggled with this in the past, and clients were like, "Your images are pink or bluish or green." I'm like, "Oh Jesus, why?" And it really makes a difference when you correct and use a white balance. And on
Yeah,
when I use V-Ray, I used to put like a photographer do. You put a white sphere on the middle of the room, and you pick
yeah.
a color
Pick it
picker.
until it's white,
Yeah,
pure white.
yeah,
Yeah, there are many approaches about this, but yeah, I mean, it easily happens when you have warm lights. And in this case, a lot of the interior lighting is based on warm artificial illumination. And if you have a bit of bluish coming from the outside, then you get this mix of both, and then it goes into this purple direction. So yeah, but just this is something to a bit take care of in future,
hmm,
or and this here and this shot, I would say it's the framing is a bit questionable to me. Like we
okay,
look at nothing, and
okay.
I get it. We see the table. Let's say the table is the focal point, but I think it could have been better if the camera was just
A
slightly
little
rotated.
pant, yeah.
And for this one shot, if the functionality of this rack would have been showcased with those panels moved to the side so that the TV is visible this one
Mm,
time.
okay.
So so that, because you what you show here is the more or less the point of view of somebody sitting there and watching TV, right? So this would have been the right situation to showcase the functionality of this hidden TV. It's
Yeah, I
not a big
agree.
deal, but okay, let's talk about something that I deliberately didn't show until this moment. Let's talk
Okay.
about the bathroom.
Okay. Yeah,
Because
I was missing something because I wrote some things in here. Yeah.
yeah, by the way, about talking about that TV, Amit says sometimes his clients use flush shutters to hide the TV, which is actually interesting. This is a good idea.
They
Never
use
thought
what?
about it.
Flash shutters.
Flash shutters.
Ah, okay. Yeah.
That's a good idea. So I think in this shot, which is by the way also a very good one, we have the person I think entering either a bedroom or the bathroom. And after this, I don't know how many images we've had so far, like 10 images or something with this very subtle, very lightweight color scheme. We end up in the bathroom, which looks like this.
Yeah,
So what do
it's
you think?
very green. I mean, the first thing that caught my attention is the resolution of this marble, but overall, it's uh, yeah, it's a different design. It's a modern design. I I mean, it's a lot of green, but and the blacks really missed some roughness and shine. Um, I mean, and the background blur is miss something, miss a tree or a building out there. I guess it's
I
a
think
ground
it's
floor,
because
so
of the glass. I think it's the glass has some structure to it so that people who use the bathroom aren't seen from outside.
oh, okay,
And
like
this is why,
what's the name called? Like uh,
like some structured mat, I don't know, glass, but it's because of the glass structure. It's not because like the building or whatever it is, the back
oh,
plate
okay,
is
okay. It's like
too
blurred
blurry.
because of the material, not
Yeah,
because you're
it's a
missing a
deliberate
background.
choice in this case.
Okay, and the wall between of these two mirrors, this marble feels kind of stretched. I don't think
Amit helps us with frosted grass. This is what it is. Yeah, thank you
frosted
very much,
grass.
and Miko.
Yeah,
Yeah, well, good that we have you guys. That you're still so much, paying attention and
yeah,
thinking alongside with us.
yeah,
But it's a heavy choice. I mean, it's a subjective. Like people like what they like, right? But having everything being so lightweight in the main space and then going to this bathroom, it was kind of a shock
shock.
to me,
Yeah,
honestly.
yeah, me too.
Abdi says bath on acid. Yeah, it kind of is. And what bothers me here a bit, like, once again, it's a subjective topic, but what bothers me here a bit is that, like, suddenly after the lightweight interior we have these dark, heavy, monumental materials in the bathroom, but the design is kind of inconsistent. Like if we zoom in like this, it's like the green bath and like the jade bath, and one can say, well, you know what, it's cool, I like it, it's punk, it's cool. But then you have this wall up here which is like the most basic, cheap, white painted wall, and the combination of both doesn't do it for me. It's something which, this is once again, it's a subjective topic. It's not something that has to do with Domenico's 3D
Yeah,
work, but it's just such an unusual solution to this bathroom, and that's why I personally prefer the next shot, because the next
hmm,
shot focuses only on the green and the white and this
yeah,
beautiful contrast, and
hmm,
then we have those reflections, the subsurface scattering, and it's way nicer to look at, for me at least.
yeah. I agree. I only have some technical issues going out there, like the this UV when it turns on the countertop, it doesn't like follow the veins of the marble, and the resolution too is a really um, bothers me a little bit. But yeah, this framing for sure is
Beautiful.
uh,
And we
it's
gotta say, folks, here for you in the chat and ones watching the recording afterwards, something that you don't know about Pedro is that he used to do a lot of unwrapping, right?
Oh yeah.
So he's somebody who you cannot fool with box mapping just and say, call it a day. He used to do tons of unwrapping, so he's very, very adamant when it comes to this that it's done properly. So
Yeah.
I hope we won't talk about works of mine today because I will get many red flags from him. So,
Okay.
but the framing is really cool.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
really cool.
It
Let me
is.
check the yeah, Isaac says the marble looks stretched. Amit says after so many images, he might have gotten tired, hence the plain white top and the ceiling. Well, yeah, I think it looks like, they wanted to go big. They wanted to make this monumental bathroom, but then they ran out of money, and then needed to finish it like, I don't know. It's just, I don't like it that much. It's, but yeah, this is obviously a subjective matter. But all in all, this is one really great commercial work, and I'm sure the clients are happy. They must be, given how precise Domenico
Yeah.
has been here.
Yeah.
And I think maybe for your portfolio, Domenico, this is just my advice. Let's see what Pedro has to say. But for your portfolio, I would at least do the whole bathroom in this marble or something, or change something about the bath, because currently it's tricky. What do you think, Pedro?
Yeah, I agree. I think this is a shock between the whole set of images and this one. I mean, it doesn't take the beauty of the project in the whole, but yeah, it's a different different design in overall. And yeah, I agree. I would reach the marble to the top, so it's a 100% punk bathroom.
But Domenico says there are two bathrooms in the house, one with the warm colors from the living room, and the
Where is
one
it?
which is totally green. So maybe take the other one for your portfolio, or maybe just
I
make
want
this
to
one that
see
it
it.
looks more finished. Like, I don't know, but it's a marvelous work. So congratulations on this one
Yeah,
as well. Three amazing works in a row, and also this dark bathroom is a good transition to our next project that we want to review, because it is a dark interior by
yeah.
Navid.
I
Now,
loved this one.
he doesn't say much. It's just that it's done in Max Advantage and with no AI involved. So yeah, let's just jump right into the images and take a look at them and tell
The
me what you
first
think, Pedro, please.
My first impression is the mood that he picked. He, it kind of reminds me of those grief moments, those dark and heavy moments when you set a house and you have this low lighting and this overcast coming in, and it's really, I guess it's this image, for example, like you see the candles, this champagne, this like the mood for and you see this textures. I like the mood is very heavy for me, but in a good way, it depicts like a sad moment on this house when you see some the family grief or something. But yeah, I love this. I see some comments about this, the contrast of the blacks on the image, but I guess the purpose of this image is like it's for being like this, you
It's
know
the atmosphere. Also, it's if you
atmosphere.
follow his work over the years, this is Navid's style. Oh, his images are
Mm,
always that contrasty. And
I don't know
honestly,
it.
given that most of these works are done like exercises or free time works, I have in the past I have provided feedback to his works already, and I have thought about saying, don't do this. But at the same time, this is not archviz. This is what he's selling here is
Poetry.
atmosphere,
Yeah,
mood. As you say, it's about the mood. So I think it's okay. And if some detail is lost, then who cares? I don't care so much about every detail in the scene. I want to
I
feel
agree.
it.
I agree. I guess
But
the mood in the scene speaks for itself. Yeah.
yeah, and it's a great one. I think I like the subtle storytelling that we have here, even though you see everyone combines it with some or associates it with something else. Like you said, it's about grief, it's about some heavy emotions. But what we see here is like the champagne bottle and things. So maybe like people are actually celebrating something, but we never know. There is a room for interpretation, but like sometimes it's the contrast what you expect and what you actually get which makes something interesting, because obviously we could have had a like somebody has died and there are people crying on the table.
Celebrating.
Yeah, celebrating. But yeah, the people are celebrating, which is kind of unexpected, making it interesting. But the execution is really, really good. Like the
I
contrast, the
agree.
lighting,
Yeah.
and the framing here. Just take a look at it. How like this natural framing with the door frames or the wall frames. It's there
And
is a lot of
this
skill.
tiny details on the side, on the back framing, like
Yeah.
really stands out.
And I love
They're very
how
cool.
you understand the scene here in the front, even though it's so blurry with the depth of field, even though it's underexposed, like
Yeah.
severely underexposed, you still can make out that it's like the champagne bottle, the small candles, the glasses. There's so much going on in this one, and it's it's beautiful, and it's I mean
Yeah.
Vantage. This
This,
is
sorry, go ahead.
no, that's just because once again we talked about this GPU rendering and not being so realistic, but I gotta say, like 95% of my clients would be absolutely happy with this image quality.
Yeah, I agree. I totally agree.
So you wanted to say something about the glass shot?
Yeah, this glass shader is amazing. I mean, I didn't know that Vantage could actually achieve these results. And this crop image it was the one that sold the idea for me that this is a grief mood or grief atmosphere, because this glass is empty and the chair is empty. So like I was kind of towards that. But aside from this, it's a marvelous piece of work. I don't have anything to say rather than the other people already said it about this lamp, the translucent lamp doesn't light
Yeah.
showing the light. Yes, this the next one that
Yeah, the
is
lampshade. It's like
this
it
lampshade.
produces
Yeah,
warm light, but the warm lampshade is still kind of
yeah, it's the
dim.
one only thing that technically is a little bit off, but other than that, amazing.
I love how you interpret this actually. Now that you say it, I very much agree with this. And I think, you know what? If this is the case, then maybe, something like fingerprints on the glass or,
Okay, yeah,
something would have been great. So to show somebody was holding this, but they don't do it anymore because they're no more there anymore. This is a type of work which provokes emotion and such thoughts and your imagination. And for
yeah,
this is why I would usually, if this was an artist work, I would absolutely agree with Łukasz feedback about details being lost in the darks, because they definitely get lost when the darks are so dark. But this is not archviz, this is emotion.
yeah. I agree.
And
Totally agree.
with this one, I like how he has centered the framing around the lamp. You see, this is exactly in the middle
Hmm.
of the framing.
Hmm.
But in terms of lighting composition, it doesn't work because the lamp is kind of dark. You lose detail here in front of the floor, but you have a very strong and distracting
Green.
tonal
Yeah,
contrast on the plant, and you don't want this. So maybe for a shot like this, even the rest of the shots are with this gloomy or neutral lighting. For a shot like this, go for an evening mood and turn on the lamp so that it illuminates itself and becomes the center of the image as it should be.
yeah. I agree.
What do you think?
Yeah, I agree with the plant. Kind of caught my attention because I feel like it should be a little less saturated to match the mood or the color scheme of the scene. And yeah, you lose the details on the lamp
Yeah.
structure. But I, as you like you said, it's not about the perfect technicality of the scene. It's more about the emotion it evokes and how each person interprets. So I love this work for
Yeah,
sure.
absolutely. Okay, I think this is really another wonderful work. This time, not a commercial one. I think the first non-commercial work among all the works that we have talked about. And I think Navid should be staying true to his style and continue doing
Yeah,
this.
I agree.
But of course, when it comes to architectural visualization, then we should go back to those basics of showing details and stuff the way it should be. Anyway, I think it's time for us to go to one very special project, the final one, another commercial work, and have an actual premiere here in the show because we'll have an artist introduce his own work, which is great because usually I read stuff and then we react to this. But no, next thing that we'll be talking about is your work. And so we should probably just swap the
Oh,
screen
you can
sharing.
read it out. You can read it out, and I talk about it. You can.
No, no, no. I won't be reading this. This will be too long. But Navid, you start sharing your screen and
Okay.
maybe,
I have the
um,
project open here. I can show my
yeah. And
process
it's
or
something
some.
unique. It's something great, and maybe you can give us a bit of a glimpse behind the scenes of how what was the goal of this project? How did you and Stella approach it? Who did what? Like you're two, it's
Hmm.
two of you, so you kind of share the tasks. So gladly, just please start sharing. I'll stop my sharing, and you can just give
Okay.
us a glimpse. It would be really, really exciting to see.
Just one thing. I don't think um, it gonna fall apart, but it's kind of an notification here on low battery. But if
On your
something
mouse?
went black, no, on the camera.
Oh no! We need you. Can the Stella point the
Stella,
computer?
Stella, yeah, Stella is already here.
Yes,
She's a
Stella is awesome.
wonderful
We
girl.
love you, Stella.
She's amazing.
Cheers.
The backstage, backstage on its fullest.
Yeah,
Okay, but I will start. Let me
please do.
share my screen. Okay, let me put this side. Okay,
So,
so um, when you when we get a project, the first thing we do is like go into the street view and do a walking thing on the building, on the site area. Um, we do this for looking for cameras. So I mean, let me put the building here too, so you
so
can
you
do.
extracted the Google Earth
Yeah,
model, right? Okay.
yeah. Let me
Okay.
front. Okay. I mean, I put some layers so I not. Oh Jesus.
Now you have a really big layer. Kinda.
Wait a minute. I never done this, so sorry.
That's okay.
Let me
Take your
let
time.
me take these layers. Okay, building, surroundings, people,
The audience of
landscaping.
keeping it realistic is used to lengthy shows, but they also know that they get something out of it. So I think nobody bats an eye of you
Okay,
taking your time.
okay. What's going on?
We
Okay.
can do a small pause if you need to.
No, no, it's okay. Everything's set up now. So the first thing we do extract the Google from with Blender.
Yeah.
Um, we use Blender for this. Let me group this already. So we have this scene. I mean, we don't use this. We use more for locate the closest buildings we will have to remodel it, and the streets and stuff like this, and do like a photo shoot, rehearse. Like I like to do it like in black and white first when we do this study. So I have here still the Google Maps, and here I already started modeling this close-up building. I can open the street view too, but um, I have another pure half with some reference. I got it from the real place. So I like to take a lot of pictures and to
So
see
you went
what.
there and took pictures.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, cool.
No, no. I mean, this is from Google Street View. I wasn't there.
Oh, so okay, this is nice. I mean,
Yeah.
Google Street View, it's a bit of a thing of luck. Do you have luck that
Yeah,
Google Street
yeah,
View will have it or not? Because let's say in our small city here with 30,000 people, not every street has Google Street View, and sometimes you have really,
yeah.
people, taking their privacy very seriously, and the building being blurred, so you cannot extract anything out of it. But yeah, so you took photos in Google Earth, which is
Yeah, we are so lucky because in Portugal, which is the most projects we do, they all have like 3D buildings, and we can
yeah,
study like the volumetrics of how shadow was is gonna work. And so before going to the texture, we do like a lighting tests and how the other buildings, the surrounding buildings, would affect the main building. And I like this shadow work and lighting because flat lighting doesn't like sells so good for me. And yeah,
so you
so
do the black and white sessions so that you can focus
before,
more on the tonal contrasts and
yeah, yeah,
okay,
yes, exactly,
understand.
exactly.
That's a very very cool approach.
And I do this before I go into this texture phase, which I'm not so good at it, but I managed to get some dirtiness and bumps on the side and this big strange building. Like I couldn't remove it because it was so
Yeah,
like prominent in the. Let me find this another one. Where is it? This one. Like it's you cannot run for it. This one. I
yeah, you
mean,
cannot hide it. It's
you
part of
cannot
it.
hide it. Yeah, and it's like on the corner in the front of the main building. So I tried to hide it on my views, but I couldn't, and I tried to make it the best so it doesn't um, be so much distracting. So we did like measurements so we can
Yeah.
get some close approach, but not so like the main building precision, of course. And
Pedro, sorry for interrupting. There is a question by Amit about the black and white images. Do you only use them for the lighting purposes or also for choosing the camera angles?
yeah, I use for both.
Okay.
First of all, I use for the lighting, but on this phase, I'm also using it for picking angles. When we do this walking on the street view, we we are already looking for the angles. Like this one was the first one we saw
Yeah.
it, and it's a nice little street on behind. You have this little corner, the square with trees, these platinum trees, and yeah, I look like okay, the sun could. I changed the street view, um, the year, the time of the year, so I can get different lightings, so I can get some idea of how the lighting would work on this place, like this, how the shadow was going to work, the position of the sun. So this always helped. This little lady I managed to put in the render too in
Yeah.
some way. And yeah, so let me go back to the 3D. So after we managed to filter out what buildings is gonna show up and what is hiding, let me go back to here. Hide. Okay, let me change this and this and this and this and this. Okay, only those two. So we build this building and this part of here. This is a, I mean, I saw this and I had to model it, even though it doesn't show any of the image. This happens a lot because we see some details. Okay, I'll model it, and after that the camera just do this and I lose everything, but it's okay, it's part of the
Yeah, this is where I
process.
then, being lazy and loving my work too much, or loving my time spent for this work too much, I just go back and then make just a close up on this gate because I spent.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
I will show
You
it,
don't lose. Yeah.
want it or not. Yeah,
Amazing. I will remember that because on the end, sometimes I feel sad because okay, I spent like 2 hours. I don't know how much time I spent doing this of 1 hour, but it's a nice piece of asset you don't want to miss. This wall, I mean, even though it's like this here on the render, it came out a little better because of the displacement, and some things are really jagged out because it
you have
doesn't.
it.
I mean, we only see this part of the scene, and it's a little only a small part. So I don't lose time like building the whole building behind because it doesn't matter. And
And how
yeah,
long
I
did it
tried
take to create everything that you're showing us, the whole surroundings here?
the whole surroundings. I mean, this some of these buildings I pick from other projects that I did, but the whole surroundings set aside this main building.
Yeah,
I
without
guess uh, 5 days, 6 days of doing
with so
it.
much detail. This is impressive, actually.
Yeah, but most of the building, like this one and this one and this one, is brand new for this project. The others is like from the other projects I did, and I needed just a volume
Yeah,
of the
few material
shadows. Yeah,
makes sense.
and when I put this camera, this one, let me put this landscape, and when I zoom in here, I see that I
Yeah,
will have to populate with some buildings out there, back there. So yeah, it worked. I don't need it here, and some buildings that I don't see in this image, but I put it because of Stella's interior. Some cameras would um, see this exterior,
yeah,
so some buildings, so you had to put it. But yeah, we do like to build it as you were um, the main project, but not with so much precision, but still with
yeah.
floors and like railings and stuff, because it gives like a reality check for the place.
Absolutely.
Um,
Amit
this
says for your workflow, sorry for interrupting, Gaussian splats would be Gaussian splat models of the surroundings would be amazing, of course. But so far, we have the limitation of the Gaussian splat models coming with their own lighting, which may not suit the project here. This is
Mhm.
the big minus. But I was at the ICE conference lately, and somebody there on my question said that people are already working on trying to remove the light data from the Gaussian splat so that it's just image data that then reacts to the lighting in your scene. The moment they make this, Gaussian splats could save you a ton of time. Like those 5 days, you just need a drone to fly there and then you have it.
Yeah, this would be a really good thing to earn some time, to get some time. But I don't know. I do like to model. I mean, uh, especially if the client is not hurting me or hurting me.
Okay. Yeah.
I enjoy this process. I
It's
mean,
visible.
this building, this wall. I tried my best, but I got lazy at some point. But I draw every stone, like to every one of us, and do some retopology and like this one. But
We
I
should
mean,
ask Abdi to make a Tyflow tutorial for the creation of such stones. As far as I know, it's possible with Tyflow, and it looks very, very authentic, and you have a lot of
okay,
control over it. So
okay,
good to see this, dear Abdi. If you're watching this, if you're still here, or if you watch the recording, I know you always do. Please see if you can help with speeding it because drawing stones by hand is kind of like feels like wasted time. Even though, I mean, if you
I
enjoy,
know I do a lot of things that is a waste of time, but I
no,
can
I
like
understand that you enjoy modeling the surroundings. I also like this, by the way. Coming close to what is actually there. This is a great thing, but there are things where you can still do that, but be quicker on certain aspects of
sure,
that modeling.
yeah,
This
for
is what.
sure, for sure. On Tyflow, the only thing I can do is like the leaves flying over, and I mean only that. But I know you can do a lot more, and especially I've tried ray fire, no, the Voronoi effect when you the ray fire Voronoi, but it is so random, and sometimes I wanted to do exactly how the stones are to fit it perfectly, but I guess Tyflow can do it a lot better than manually construction
It's
constructing
an
this.
option, you know. It's
Yeah.
the options are there. People in the end decide what they do. But yeah, let's continue with your main hero.
Okay. So we have some transit signs here. People from various packs and
The
cars.
urban details.
Yeah, cars here. I like to put like the frame I use for each camera. I don't know how you guys do it because I let me share this part here. So this is my process. I like to put it on side by side so I can pick what's the best light. So I try some other lightings, Cypher thing, Autumn Park, Rolling Hills, and I go with Stella like one by one. So this or this, like we like do
Yes.
this section, and this is the rotation of the HDRI, and yeah. So I using Corona 12 now. We managed to put it in here, the scene environment, direct override for each camera. So it's a huge improvement for my workflow because I would do it so manually. Like I would put this on the name and on my materials. Wait a second. On my materials, I would put this the value on. Okay. Here,
People are hearing some buzzing sound.
buzzing
Um,
sound.
yeah, but I mean, I think we can bear with it. It's there, but it's not very um,
It's,
distracting or something.
it's this sound speaker, maybe.
I don't know. Abdi says you're close to a magnetic field or something.
I have my V-Ray guide. I forgot to mention it. I printed out on the college. I used to read this all the 1,000 pages on the bus, so
Wow.
it was really cool.
So I
The
think the
buzzing
buzzing.
still exists. The buzzing
No,
still there.
folks. What do you say? I don't hear the buzzing anymore. Like Estella is like a magician. The moment she appears, your maybe it's because your smartphone charging or something like this, but I don't hear it anymore.
Okay, okay. So thank you. Uh,
Thank you, Stella. Yeah,
so
the
going back,
V-Ray guide is really impressive.
yeah, it is so much history and knowledge is in here. So this is my HDRI test. I would put in each the rotation and what camera. So this Corona 12 really helped me on this because I can set aside different light mixes for it, and it really helped the process. And let me share
I
the
use Corona
image.
Select for this.
I
um,
used to, but not anymore. I don't know why, but I used Corona Select for changing the one HDRI for another. But I don't know. I like the manual process for some reason. I kind of get lost in so many processes, so I do like to spread it out in pure half, so I can
Yeah.
see what I'm doing, because it's so easy to get lost with so much information of the process. So yeah, the main building. Let me go back here.
Yeah. So the main building you model according to plans, I assume.
Yeah,
But
I
yeah,
have it here.
obviously
Let me
here the surroundings
hide
were a big
everything.
topic because they're
Yeah,
very accurate, very authentic looking.
yeah. I mean, I've done projects and with surroundings, but sometimes I don't. In the past, I didn't pay attention so much to the surroundings, but it does kill the project sometimes if
Yeah.
you don't pay attention to it. And I started doing it since we were working for these clients in Portugal, and they never complain it. They always love it, and we keep doing it in this way. We use a plugin called A Tiles for this these stones right here,
Oh, okay.
because floor gen sometimes flip it out and doesn't match. I had to manually go in the offsets, so A tiles keeps the position every time, so it was a really good thing.
Okay.
um, I
8 hours.
use
Recommendation for a plugin.
what?
A recommendation for a plugin. Eight
Yeah,
hours.
yeah,
And
A
can
tiles.
be also done with rail clone, but
Yeah, I did
more
this
complex
rail
there.
clone. Rail clone,
Yeah.
of course. I model this the railing according to the project and use it as a parametric. Um,
You need to update your rail clone.
yeah, I did. So um, yes,
Are
this
the
is rail clone.
blinds
The
also
blinds, the
scattered?
Amit pointed out. No, I put it manually because I'm a psychopath apparently.
I hope
But
Abdi doesn't listen anymore because he'll get a heart attack. But yeah, you can do
but I
this
have,
really
at
with.
least I have a separate layer for it. It's this one. So I have like 326 curtain blinds everywhere. But yeah, it comes to a point in the project that you don't want to rush it, but you also don't want to spend too much on it, spend too much time on it. But yeah, his point on hiding the interior was really a bummer, because when I saw it again, I really missed some of it. I really put a little bit of interior here and there because it would show up more, but the blinds kind of distracting from when we saw the final renderings. I don't know if I
Yeah,
have it.
this is just unusual that like everybody just closes their blinds and you see no interior. Uh, but yeah, I understand. This is like a large project. You have a lot of work on it. So if you start also doing the interiors, but you can really consider parallax solutions for this.
I've
Like,
tried. I don't get good results with parallax. I don't know why. I don't. I've tried, but it kind of looks like flat.
yeah,
I mean,
from
from
angle,
yeah. If you are from far from the building, it's a amazing
yeah,
solution. But
like central perspectives work. Like when you're
yeah,
a very steep angle, then it doesn't work that well. But then you can just with a very steep angle, you don't see much at the same time. So you could just put a couch and a wall art or something, and then it's done. But
yeah,
yeah, obviously
yeah.
this is
But I should have spent some time more on this kind of humanization. I mean, this interiorization for the
yeah,
scenes, because it's really another reality check, not only the surrounding buildings, but more on the inside, because it's the main building, is the main hero. We all want to see this marvelous thing on its best form. So uh, yeah, I only set aside the exterior part of the project. I mean, the interior part is on Stella's computer, but we have here the Jen. She made it, and a part of the hall that we will
Yeah,
see that too.
that's visible on the
So
exteriors. That's
yeah,
great.
so yeah, and what's the main frame? I guess it's this. Let me put it all back together. Cars, landscaping, people, signs, street, and neighbor. Yeah. Type flow, I would keep it hidden for. So yeah, I one of the questions that I made it in my post was how do you guys pick the best image aspect for your image, especially for clients? I'm inclined to do this zero point 0.8, triple four, 3 by 4, and and sometimes like 1.5. So it's a little bit, but not the this
16 by 9.
16 by 9. But we are doing it from time to time for our final project. We do this PDF, was like a selling book for the project.
Yeah, booklet.
So yeah, and then I we need some wider images because sometimes only portrait position is not good enough. And yeah, I mean I look for references when we do it, but not so much. I mean, for aesthetics and this back part of this building, which is a greenery, which Stella did it with me. This is this one, and yeah, rail clone and forest pack for these, and some scattered plants, some pampas grass, and yeah, I guess this is it. I don't know if there's
May I
some.
give you a simple answer to your aspect ratio question?
Please.
I mean, I don't know if it will it's what you're hoping for, but I can tell you at least how things work out on my side when it comes to the aspect ratio. So the one thing is when usually if it's a commercial work, my clients already have something in mind, being it a website, a booklet, print, whatever, construction site sign or whatever. So they already have
This
the aspect
formats. Hmm.
ratios kind of they need certain aspect ratios that I simply have to deliver. And of course, if they say okay, give me more, then I start doing whatever I like. If it's personal work, no matter if it's like archviz or something else, I just go whatever looks best. And I'll be honest here, you'll probably lose some respect for me, but I don't even care if this is like some type of, let's say, classic aspect ratio. Like I just go for what gives me a good framing, even if it's
Yeah, I
nothing
agree.
which is usual. And what I've found over time as a very convenient solution for my clients and me is to go for a square format
Hmm.
where the important parts are kind of more in the middle so that this square format can later be cut down or cropped to landscape or to portrait or landscape format, depending what my clients need or what do I need. And
Hmm.
this is how I deal. And it's a very simple answer. Like there are people who are really incredibly into those aspect ratios and they think so much about every aspect ratio and they go do huge researches. I don't belong to them. I just deliver
Me
either
neither.
what's asked of me or what looks good.
Yeah, I do this too. I mean, we used to go for square format for most times, and on the exteriors, I used to go with the portrait because I think it fits best better. I don't know why. I mean, I can get some fine angles with it and good lighting effects. And I mean, I don't pay attention so much with in what value I'm using it, as long as it's a good image.
Exactly.
But
This is
but
how it should be.
I've seen so many people saying that, oh, don't use this format or don't use a square format, and I was like, okay, there is a rule or it's a like I don't know. But sometimes I like to use this like 7.5 or even lower because it gives a good I mean, it's a good feeling for some images, some the what you're
It's
trying to do.
difficult. You
Yeah.
have then Instagram where you have the square format or something like this. There are different purposes. You cannot. There is no one size fits all. Just go with
Okay.
what looks better. I think you already have the right approach. We have a question by Simon about the background of your visualization. If it's an HDRI map, I think Simon, if you have missed Pedro explaining so far, like the surroundings are done manually, just like after Google Earth. And as for the sky and stuff, I think it's an HDRI, or is it
Yeah,
Corona?
Sky is basically HDRI, and sometimes I put it some clouds in the post production, the sky. But most times I keep the main lighting of like this one. This is
Yeah.
from HDRI. And another and another
Ah,
thing I
Polyhaven.
yeah, Polyhaven. Yeah.
Yeah. I you see the names and you know it's Polyhaven.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. But
This
Polyhaven is also an amazing source and it's absolutely
amazing.
free. And you
Amazing.
can, I think, yeah, we should donate. I actually wanted to donate for a long time. I haven't done it since, but I will definitely do it because these people do God's
They
work,
are
honestly.
amazing. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
another thing that I do that I started doing because of a personal project I was doing for a house, like a Canadian house, and I tried to mimic shadow clouds from hitting the ground, and I created a sphere. Let me display as a box. So I create this sphere right here with um, cloud material on the opacity with a noise, and it does like cast shadows uh, randomly in the field, so it gives like a little more volume. It removes that flatness of the lighting sometimes, and I
This
like
is
to
amazing.
use it.
It's like a gobo effects from clouds, right?
Yeah.
uh, what you get. This is amazing. Such an amazing tip, folks. I hope you're watching because this along this tip was worth the whole 2 hours so far. Like now, I mean, it's an amazing show. We are 2 hours and 10 minutes in.
Okay.
Pedro, so I want to be able to ask you questions.
Okay.
So maybe, I mean, it's a great work. We already talked about it, and I really want to compliment your description because you described the goals of this project, you described your workflow, you just offered new topics and discussion, uh, like discussion topics and things, questions to the community. Like if every work would be presented this way, this community will skyrocket and be the
uh,
best one by the end of the year.
I'm glad.
So absolute compliment for this, and of course for an amazing work. um, you had a second question, which was very interesting. You said something along the lines of, let me read this
About the
quickly.
references, I guess.
It was on exteriors. I tried to bring a more daily routine for the composition while maintaining a good light shadow work, but some shots I feel like are a little
The
stiff
stiff.
and only motion blur to break a little of this effect. How do you guys do this? So what exactly is the question? Because I'm not sure I quite got it.
I
Like,
mean, let me open the final images. Just a second. Let me put this here. Projects deliver. Okay, I guess
and by the way, using buildings
this.
that you have modeled in the past as a fill material is also a wonderful approach. I
Yeah, it
also
saves
do
some
this.
time.
Yeah, it saves time. I can also buy there. Let's say on 3D Sky, there are buildings for $7 that you can also buy that look great, so that you have this depth of the city because the city isn't just a small area
Hmm.
around your camera. It has depth to it.
Hmm. Yeah, and I like to use fog as well because it gives a nice depth
Yeah, of course,
perspective.
aerial perspective.
Yeah, and the oh again. Okay, I will.
Your camera still has low battery even though it's charging.
No, I don't know if this is the buzzing sound, but
We don't have it any. I don't hear it anymore. You folks,
okay.
I don't
I
hear it.
guess it's my speakers. It's kind of electric, static sometimes, but Uh, when I say it's stiff, because I don't know, the people is out there. I put some motion blur, but I don't know. It doesn't feel like a photo of the that time, and people were walking there. I don't know. It doesn't. For some projects, I feel like it could be more um, storytelling or emotion or something like this. But I try to put some motion at least to it. This one is one that I like the most because I have
This is my
some
favorite
emotion.
shot.
Yeah, this is
The
my
park
favorite shot
cars.
too.
But you see, the park cars are also something which adds dynamic, because take a look at those tonal contrasts that you have here in the corner, which makes us take a look at the building, which otherwise, because obviously we have this depth perception, we have this central perspective, so we look where the guiding lines lead us to, which is by the end of the street, but we actually want to see your building. So with the cars there and the tonal contrast that they produce, we actually this actually takes our attention from the central perspective and brings us to the right of the building. So you see that even elements that are not in motion, like the park cars, can also produce something like this. And may I try to answer your question quickly so that we can go to the Q&A section? So
Mhm.
maybe I will try to share my screen. I just lost
Okay,
my Riverside
let me
window.
stop here.
Okay, so I'm not quite sure what I want to show, but let me see the windows. Okay, so this is the window that I'm sharing. You see this? Yes, you do. So generally, in terms of, let's say urban situations, I differentiate between two major types of urban elements. It's the immobile, like the pre-existing elements that are just where they are. And what I do in those cases is I usually just run with them. I just place them where they are. And then what I do is try to react to them or use them as to my advantage, like as framing elements or a point of view standpoints. Like on
Amazing.
this one, for example, you see the
This,
traffic light. I just have it as a part of my scene, as a part of the framing. Here, it is the same building. We have a bus stop here. We have some trees behind it, and I use those trees as a framing element,
yeah,
for example. And you can have many, many examples of this thing, but generally speaking, what is there, I also try to put there, even if it sometimes looks inconvenient. But like you see on this one, the stop signs, they're there.
hmm
So I'll
hmm
just use them as a kind of an entrance to my
hmm
situation here. And then there are the mobile, those temporal elements like people, vehicles, and stuff like this that can be freely positioned. And those you put there where you need them to, in order to gain, to tell a story, or have the attention of the viewer on certain points. Like for example, here, obviously, because it's an evening shot and we have those lanterns there, this means that this lantern will produce a light cone, and obviously I want to put something in this light cone. If I was a bit more of a corny person, I would maybe put a pair kissing underneath the lamp or something
okay,
like this. But because I'm a more rational dude, I just put two parts, like you know rollers or whatever these are called. Like for example, with this one, I place the people deliberately here because I have the sun coming from the back. I have
the
those light shadows,
shadows.
and I want the people to be a part. Like this building is meant for people. Like this is an apartment building, so I want people to be able to be a part of the composition here. And but I don't want the people themselves, like specific people, but rather the general topic of people to be there. And this is why I place their long shadows here and thematize them that much. And this is why they fit into the framing and play such a major role. And this one, for example, we have this building. So here you see a combination of both, like these pre-existing elements, like the cafe, which is situated on the opposite side of my building, which I use as a starting point, as a point of view from somebody who sits there and looks at the building. And then here, this side, which is kind of like not that impressive because we have a blind facade partially. I place this dude here in order to create a tonal contrast so that people also see this side, even though
Okay,
we see way more of the other one. So just use it to your
amazing,
advantage. This
amazing.
is this
Yeah,
is what I recommend. Or here, for example, I have just a parked car in the front, and here once again an element that I spent time putting there, creating, and I'll
You don't want to
definitely
miss it
show it
out. Yeah.
because yeah, because it kind of adds to the atmosphere, and this is the type of image that I really recommend you, all of you watching, or you Pedro also, you can give to your clients eventually for free. This is amazing filler material. Obviously this doesn't show the building that great, but
But it's a
it's
great for a cover or something
for a cover,
else.
or when they do a
Yeah.
booklet, then they need more images in that booklet, and the more images they have, they're like, of course they can get some of those, generic images, like stock
Mhm.
images from online, but this is not generic because this is their building, like this is this one. So of course they would prefer this one, and I love this because I love the atmosphere, I love the lighting, I love this retro style and aesthetic, and this is why I would gift someone something like this, and people are certainly amazed, and they're like, wow, I love working with these guys, just look at what we got for free. So try to make the most out of your commercial work, but also where you have fun, and gift where you had the
Yeah,
most
because
fun.
we do most time we do have fun doing a lot of images that the client don't even see, and it's a pity because we spend so much time
Yeah,
and we do so much research for some images, and some images it's okay, it's good, it's beautiful, but we don't send it to him because I don't know, he wouldn't use it, or this image is so amazing.
you should experiment. You never know.
Yeah,
Like I did
yeah.
this one, and I was like, take a look at this. Like it's somebody who photographs this, and they were like, okay, this is exactly the atmosphere that we go over. Okay, we want this one, and they bought it. So obviously this is like a major image. This is not a close-up that you give for
Hmm.
free, but
Hmm.
this is something that convinced them that this is the atmosphere they're going after. So yeah, but we're not here to talk about my work, but ask you some questions if you're okay with this. So I'll stop sharing, and I gotta ask you: do you have a favorite type of 3D work, meaning like modeling or texturing or unwrapping,
No.
or setting up lighting or setting up the cameras? It seems like modeling is something that you enjoy a lot.
Yeah, I've spent so much time modeling. I didn't do in the past. I only do like position things and set up cameras and lighting. But when I was working at the studio, I would spend so much time doing assets and doing with ZBrush and more Marvelous Designer or Substance, and it kind of brought me into this scenario where I enjoy actually modeling architecture or even small assets or even small details. And not sometimes I have time to do it. I only do it for when it demanded or something like this. But yeah, I think the part that I like the most is modeling, for sure. Modeling and lighting. And now I'm dwelling more on landscaping, like trying to get some good feeling of the trees and grass and trying the best results of all. And yeah, I think if we were to pick one, it would be lighting, although I'm not so good at it yet. But the second would be modeling for sure.
And
Texturing,
what's
I
the,
don't know so much, but I'm getting there.
and what's the thing you like doing the least that you don't enjoy?
The least interior,
Materials?
no, interior
I saw
design.
interiors, just like
Yeah,
what, staging in them or furnishing.
staging. I don't know if I have the taste for doing interiors. I even separate some images that interiors that I've made. I can show you too, but uh, I don't know. I guess the least I like doing within a commercial project, for example, is like grabbing all the references the client needs instead of like you do what you think it will looks the best for the project, but they send like meticulously all the information. You get us look. This is like uh, a time consuming thing, and I do like more the art phase, not the not so much the technical behind the project stuff. But I do like the feeling, the to feel the mood and atmosphere and this kind of stuff. I enjoy the most doing it for sure.
But you know what you have? You have Estella for that.
Yeah,
And so
that's why
everybody
we
needs their
complement
own
each
Estella.
other.
I at least do because I'm exactly like you. I don't enjoy the staging and furnishing of interiors. I even thought about working with an interior designer to do that and paying them just so I don't have to do it because you cannot know everything, and there are interior design trends. There are things that just not the plain white wall. You can structure the wall, you can do so much, but you gotta know this. I've never learned this as an architect. We never learned material combinations and stuff. I have learned like the classical architecture, the facades, the buildings, the functions, the staircases, but not so much these fine details.
Mhm.
So yeah, it's great that Stella is there for you to, so that you can share those tasks and she can do something that you don't enjoy that much. So yeah, it seems like everybody needs their own Stella, at least those people like us who don't need us that much. And where do you practice your modeling skills? Do you learn it from YouTube tutorials, just by doing, like challenging yourself, or courses, or
Okay, the first time I learned how to model, it was from my former boss, which was in that studio I worked for so long, and I learned a lot from him. He is a terrific modeler, and he would like send me a picture, or even when I worked at a physical office with him, he would sit by my side and like if the model wasn't perfect, I would have to repeat it again, and I would get like some process. Like you do first the basic form of the model. The basic form is the hardest part to get, the draft of the model, and then the details is almost the same process. Like you do the chamfer, you you do some the open subdivision or the turbo smooth, but yeah, the edge loop I learned from him too, the edge loop workflow. But yeah, I learned a lot from him, and tutorials I don't like it so much to these days, because I have my own process,
mm,
and people like to, when you follow a tutorial, you have like the clicks already made. You gotta follow the exact steps, and I like to experiment on what I will enjoy doing the most. And yeah, I like to. I mean, I'm not the fast modeler. I'm not the I like to do my own process so I can feel comfortable in doing it. So sometimes I know I go around and I spend like 3 hours on a model that I should do in 45 minutes. But yeah, I mean, I like my own process, but I do learn a lot from the internet videos. I mean, from Marvelous Designer, I started doing like a test because he needed some curtains, he needed some beds, and I will start like tweaking on my own. And when I saw some tutorials, I learned a lot of tips, but I don't follow the tutorial. I just see, learn from it, and trying to implement the best way I can. So
so you
that's my approach
extract
on
the
everything.
basics,
Yeah,
like I see. And so
yeah,
it seems like you start with a rough model and then you detail it. This is
yeah,
your approach. Okay.
yeah.
um have you thought about selling, like doing models to sell?
Yeah, I did. I
It's a
did
question
some
from
research.
the
Yeah,
chat.
I did some research about selling on 3D Sky or stuff like this. Um, I I don't think my models are too good for selling, although I've seen some many crappy models that people can sell it and make a lot of money on it. But I don't think. I mean, I never tried. That's the real reason. I never tried, but I thought about a lot on Turbo Squid or 3D Sky or CG Mood or whatever, but I
Yeah.
never done. I mean, I have a full library of models that I've done. I have video tutorials of me modeling the stuff. I can share with you too as well.
Gladly share them in the
Uh,
community so that we can
yeah,
learn
I
from this.
have. Yeah,
I mean, as Abdi says, tutorials are not there for you to copy for people to copy paste, but to learn the techniques and then use them afterwards. But sometimes following along it also helps. Try to come close to what is done, and of course, then learn it
I
better.
agree. Yeah.
So there is an interesting question. I would have asked you something else or something similar, but there's this interesting question by Amit asking if at this stage you're given an option to become something else profession wise, what would you do? We talked about it on our prep talk a bit.
Yeah, I mean, it will be something related to art for sure. I mean, I would be painting or doing. I even thought about doing tattoos in other people.
You have some,
Uh,
right?
yeah, I have some here and there, but I would do it. I would gladly do it on others because I mean, I love drawing. I don't do it so much nowadays, but I'm immersed in this field for so long, and I don't see myself doing like a lawyer thing or a medicine stuff. If I was to the medicine field, I would doing the book with drawings of skulls and stuff like
Oh
this.
yeah,
Yeah.
those drawings by Leonardo da Vinci or something. Those
Yeah, yeah, I
muscle.
mean this is, and no, I can show you. This arm is completely by Leonardo da Vinci. This woman,
Oh, okay,
this
nice.
part, yeah, this aesthetic is from the master itself. But
Yeah. So
yeah,
you'll be
it's
doing
my,
art or tattoos or something related to art. So it won't be far off, like in my case, who just go be a gardener, right?
yeah, yeah. But I mean, I think I would be good in doing something apart from art, like serving people or doing gardening, like you said, or stuff like this. But I never tried. I think I'm lucky enough to can live out of doing art with a amazing partner, and yeah, I hope this is going to to work for a long more years. But yeah, I hope I don't have to change my area so soon.
And if you had the chance to go back once again, this was a question that I had prepared, but very nicely relates to the one by Amit. Would you directly establish your own studio and start, being self-employed, or would you prefer going to, let's say, an architectural office or the 3D studio that you work for, so that you gain the experience there, like you just explained from your boss with the modeling and stuff, and then do what you did in the end, create your own studio.
Okay, I mean, for the first part of my career in the, I mean, professionally speaking, I would go to a studio before, but because I was so, I mean, I was a newbie. I was doing only personal stuff or a few freelances, and I needed experience in the field. I needed to get to know the some top-notch clients or advanced workflows or how a studio organized their folders and stuff like this. And it was great for me until a certain point. Um, People have to be courage about it
Yeah.
because you need it, you really need to give a leap of faith, and you gotta trust your own work and not be so scared. I know I'm saying this is a lot of ironic because for so long I was scared of doing this, but when I did, and gladly with Stella, because I don't know if I were doing this alone by myself, it helped me a lot. Having a company, yeah, like Stella, like a person who's the same idea with yours, and this helps a lot. But I would gladly do it earlier if I have the today's mindset. I would do it earlier
Makes
than
sense.
I did because sometimes, I mean, I always loved 3D, but sometimes when I get stressed doing it, I feel something's wrong. I mean, what's wrong? It's the people, is the company I'm working on. Because when I sit down here and do modeling or reference or whatever, I'm enjoying it, and I just stress out when I losing control of something like this. For example, like I want my own company, I want my own studio, but I don't have courage to do so. I get stressed out and just do one thing. And so I encourage people to follow their dreams at the fullest. And the greatest thing is that when you do this step of this leap of courage, everything else feels into place, falls into place. Like, you just gotta try. That's my only advice. You just gotta try and see it for itself, because it really pays off. Even if we don't make a bunch of money, we are way more enjoying what we are doing. Even if it's like stay 16 to 17 hours here, it's better than like 2 hours in a miserable way doing
Yeah.
something you like.
Being rich is actually should be a state of mind. It shouldn't be
Hmm.
like how much money you have. It's
Hmm.
the big picture that you have around you. If you're happy, like you do work and then you're happy, you're with a person that you love and
Yeah.
stuff, the big picture seems like you're a rich person.
No,
In
for sure. I tell Stella that. I mean, we're so we're so rich in this. We're so lucky. We live a dream. I mean, the other day I heard my father saying the life of a retired person, like, "Oh, I wake up in the so on time," and I was like, "Okay, we live that way in some some sort of comparison." But we do live in a way that we can enjoy ourselves, we can travel, we can get some dinner, and do not rush back to the computer because the client needs this right away,
immediately. Yeah.
And yeah, we have a really rich life, but no money involved, But
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, but this is the better richness. I mean, let's that you can say, yeah, this is a matter of coping. This is just what poor people say. I don't know, man. I think that when I look at my kids, I cannot imagine if you were to come and say, do you want 1 billion, but you don't have them, or do you want to keep them, but you don't have one
Mhm.
billion? I wouldn't think about it twice. I mean, it's just everything I want. So actually, the big picture is great. But you just said vacation, and we have a bit of a personal question from Amit. He's getting into your
Personal life.
personal area, asking dream vacation with Estella, which you feel to visit, like some location that you want to travel to with Estella.
A lot of places we are
Germany,
planning.
Dillenburg,
For
Teogarden.
sure, for
Yes.
sure. I don't know Europe. I just know Argentina, and outside my country, of course. But like I said earlier, I didn't travel so much in my life. But when I met Stella, we did it a lot. Not so much overseas, but some nearby, like interior stuff or trails, hiking, waterfalls, But we have plans to go to Europe, like do a Euro trip to Germany, of course, to some places that are not so much tourism about it, like Prague, or I mean, uh, Croatia. I don't know if it's the right spelling.
Yeah, Croatia is amazing.
Yeah,
But
I bet.
Amit says, by the way, folks, is the video quality okay? Because I see huge stuttering here in the video preview. I hope it's okay for you, but nobody says anything else. And anyway, Amit says, not alone to your place. Theo, we all want to come, and I would gladly be your host. Just come to
Uh,
Europe and visit Germany, and especially in the summer, and then visit me in my garden, because in the summer we can do stuff in the garden, while at winter it's kind of wet and stuff, so you gotta be in the house, which is still okay, but being outside
we
is
will
always.
gladly do it for sure, for sure.
Please do. Amit says mine and my wife's is a Euro trip, so it seems like you may. meet in Europe someday. But of course, for you,
Amazing.
Amit, and for everybody else from this amazing community, when you come to Europe or especially to Germany, please plan at least a day visit to my place.
Oh, of
It would be
course.
awesome.
It will be a pleasure.
How Abdi says freezes on the video from time to time, but oh good. Well, if you still hear and understand us, then it's oh good. How do you keep healthy, Pedro? Like your body and your mind.
Okay, we're trying to eat better every day because we're doing gym, and I'm trying to drink my water more often because I'm a lousy on drinking water. And and yeah, I mean, not just my body is changing for the best because I always been so much sedentary and lazy, and but my mind as well. I mean, like I said, I don't watch TV. I kind of filter out what it's going to make me feel something, um, and I filter in what I'm going to feel okay. So we're trying to read more books. It's a good thing to escape from the screens, and we try to travel every time for places that don't have streets or cars or motorcycles, just pure nature to cleanse our minds. We take a bath every day, but we often don't take time to clean our minds. So it's very important because it's so easy to get lost in the feeds and Facebooks and Instagrams, and it's every like 99% it's crappy, when you do it randomly and you fill up your mind with trash. So uh, I guess we're trying to build our body way better and eat better. This is the basics. And
Yeah.
travel, yeah, stuff like
Okay,
this.
you said reading books. Last question: do you have any recommendation for books, movies, music? Mustn't be for architecture. It could be just a nice book,
Okay.
or for architecture or visualization. Obviously, it could be
No,
everything else.
books. I like the books. Some Alan Watts. I would recommend it so much. Alan Watts.
Gladly
Uh,
paste the link afterwards, or just
okay,
like a book or
okay.
something in
I
the comments
can
under the
think
show.
about it. But I do like storybooks, not just like self-help books, because I did it so much in the past, and I read Nietzsche and Eckhart Tolle and stuff like this. But I do like stories like The Hitchhikers of the Galaxy. It's a great book.
Amazing.
Yeah,
My
and
all-time favorite book.
Kafka too, Metamorphosis. It's a great book too. But uh, I have few here. I would recommend one. Just a second.
Please.
This one is the Genesis by Robert Crumb. Do you know Crumb?
Yes, but
Yes.
I don't know. I mean, I've heard about it, but I've never read it, and it looks so cool. Even like the
Yeah, it's
cover
it's
looks
the
so
whole Genesis Bible Genesis drawn
like
by
yeah, it's the Bible Genesis,
it's the
but
Bible
it's like a
Genesis in
comic.
like comics.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
know. I
it's
have a friend who's
amazing.
into
It's
this stuff, and
amazing.
he has told me about it. Now I know where I have heard about it. This is
Yeah,
amazing. It's
Crumb. It's I mean, I saw a biography documentary about him some years ago, and it was like so pure reality. I mean, it's a total mess, his life or his family's life. It's like a total people on depression and stuff like this, but it's so pure reality that I recommend to everyone to watch it because it's a lesson about life and how you gotta keep yourself working and being your own self every time so you don't get lost in I mean, in
if
the
you have the
world.
link, gladly drop it too.
Sure.
And
Uh,
one final question. Now, it's been 2 hours and 40 minutes that we're doing this, and you were nervous before the show, which I don't say as anything bad. It's just very normal. And the thing is, this is exactly why I asked you this, because there are many people who would actually like to participate, be my co-reviewer, sit here alongside with me, but they feel anxious, they feel shy. So you are one of the people who tend to be more, let's say, on the nervous side, more part of this team. And how do you feel now after the show is through, so to speak? We'll just say our goodbyes and it's done. How do you feel? Was it so bad or?
No, at all, not at all. I mean, like I said to you, I get some. I mean, I think most people would get nervous before something starts. Like, I'm nervous before doing a tattoo. I'm nervous before going to the doctor's appointment, or
Yeah.
nervous before doing a live show, which I never did. And I was so freaking nervous about it. And of course, you made it so naturally that it became a conversation. And yeah, you just gotta do it. You just gotta focus, and everything else will be easier to deal with. I mean, I've been shy and unconfident, and I mean, my entire life. I always been afraid of cameras and stuff like this. But at some point, you just gotta forget that this exists and just do it. You know, the practice
Amit
leads to
says
perfection. Yeah.
you never felt nervous or anxious. You just went with the flow and was a total pro. So you did it.
Uh,
Simon says you did great. Thanks for the advice about making the sky and clouds. And I, of course, gotta say you did amazing. It was just a talk of us. It looks like similar to Estella, as if you have done nothing else in the past. We just talked, reviewed, discussed, and you were a part of it. There was no anxiety. There was no shyness on your side. You were just a part of it, no different than I am, who's doing it for 1.5 years, almost 2 years soon in September. So you did an amazing job as expected, and it was such a pleasure to have you here.
Thank you
So
so much. It
um,
was a pleasure to be here and to learn from this experience. It was mind blowing. I will never forget it for sure.
gladly share some of your tutorials about modeling and stuff in the
Hmm.
group, and gladly some of your links about music, books, whatever you want to share. We profit from this, and we love to hear from you. You're a great artist and also a very very cool person. Like,
Mm.
this is the thing. We don't only focus on what people can do in 3D, but also what type of people they are. And so far, it's always been great with Nate, with Estella, with you, and we'll continue this. And you see how many amazing people we have in this community. So it was a pleasure to have you. And before we all part ways, let me just remind you, we have the first episode of From Zero to Hero, which is very relevant for Corona users, coming on in 2 days on Thursday. So
Hmm.
don't miss it, with Luis Inciarte. He's also a great guy, not only knowledgeable, but also very interesting person, interesting mentor. We have the Architecture in Motion, this Envision Live show in a week. And also we have Danushka presenting at the school
Another group.
community in like 15 minutes, or the session starts in 15 minutes. He'll probably present later. So let's head over to the school community and support Danushka too, like he was also
Of
here
course.
today. And yeah, time to wrap up today's session. It's I don't know when the next one is going to be because I go on vacation. So next show won't happen in 2 weeks, but either in 3 weeks or in 4 weeks. We'll see about this. And yeah, as usual, it was a huge pleasure hanging out with all of you, with you, Pedro, but also
It
with
was a
everyone in the comments.
pleasure.
And yeah, stay safe, be healthy. Don't forget to rock on and keep it real. And bye. Bye, my friends. Much
Bye
love.
bye.
And
Thank you
I'll
so
see you
much.
around. Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Where should I go? Oh, wait, let me see where is the right button. Okay. Bye, friends. Ciao, ciao.